This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Aunt and Uncle Studios of Arizona, Masvidal out of Leon Edwars fight, Khamzat Chimaev in, Chris Curtis live with the MMA-Holes, Tyler Randall live with the MMA-Holes, UFC Vegas 42 fight week, lots to get to with the MMA-Holes. Welcome, friends, to the show. We are the MMA-Holes. It's Wednesday night, and we're hanging with the boys.
Hanging with the boys.
Thank you, Cody Garbrandt, for that. Live chat, get fired up, hit the like button. We have a full jam-packed show tonight, and I'm very excited. I acted like a little schoolgirl when this man won UFC 268, his UFC debut. I don't know what it was. Something just got over me. And then our audience, people are sending us videos of people freaking out about this man. The fucking Action Man is here live with the MMA-Holes, and let's welcome Chris Curtis to the fucking show. Let's go, baby. I'm sorry, Chris, the clapping was so loud I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
How did you get that Bruce Buffer intro? Like, how did that work?
Well, we tied him up. He's actually in my basement right now. And yeah, there's a sock in his mouth and a dildo in his ass. It's really weird. It's a long story.
You know, I'm not here to judge, man. Sometimes these things happen.
Somehow Bruce Buffer came on the show too. I don't even know how this even happens. But anyway, it's good to have you here, Chris. I'm very excited to see your face back on the show. The last time we spoke, you were fighting in MMA, and here you are in the UFC. How does it feel?
Man, it feels great to finally be there. You're starting to think it was never going to happen. Like, oh, crap, man, I'm 34. We're doing this for a long time. So to get that call, and then Madison Square Garden, no less, and everything went really well. I'm past the point where I'm waiting for shit to go wrong. I'm like, okay, like, we're here, we're cool, we got paid, you know, it's real.
And yes, it is. Man, we'll talk about the fight in a second, how real that got. Now, I'm sure your head must be spinning. Everyone's pulling you in different directions, asking you the same questions over and over again. Are you exhausted right now?
Yesterday was bad. I did like 15 interviews in a row yesterday. Like, I got a tension headache. It was crazy. But today was fun though. It was like, you know, I did ARIEL HELWANI this morning. Now I'm here with you guys. So, you know, two most important ones on Tuesday. What is this, Wednesday? Yeah.
That's right. Well, one more most important one. Right over here, the MMA-Holes. Here, you saved the best for last, correct?
Yeah, it's you and ARIEL, man, the two big ones.
There you go. Actually, we know ARIEL pretty well. He doesn't talk to us anymore, Chris. So if you could, if you could send a nice word, nah, fuck him. Anyway, so there's a lot I want to get to here, but the first thing I want to talk about is there's a gentleman from our community that was in the building, Madison Square Garden, and he screamed like he just went off the.
Hilarious. Oh my
I'm gonna
God.
play it right now for you, Chris. I just want to get your reaction here. Let me just play something really quick. You ready?
Yes, bitch! Yes! Chris! Yes! 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 I love you, Chris!
The only guy happier than I was.
I don't know if you heard him. He was sitting in the nosebleeds. You might have heard him in the cage over there.
I probably did. Shit, yeah. Like crazy.
What does it feel like to hear people, like, I'll never have this experience, but I want to live through you right now. What does it feel like when people are sending you these videos of just them freaking out about you doing something pretty special? How does that make you feel?
It's great, man. It's funny because at first I was like, are you guys happy for me, or do we just hate Phil Hawes that much? I wasn't entirely sure. I was like, maybe they just hate Phil Hawes because, it's been hilarious, man. Like, I've gotten videos and messages from around the world, people with their betting slips, like freaking the fuck out. Like I know people who've made like 20 grand on me. Wow. People just freaking out. Like, I love you. One guy's like, I'll name a kid after you. I was like, don't do that. I don't know the legality of that. Don't do that. Like, it's been really cool though.
I tell you what, we have a pick'em league over here that we do, and I was so afraid, man. I'm actually a big fan from the PFL days. CES, we were in the building watching you fight in CES, so it's so freaking cool seeing you fight in the UFC, even though we've only talked twice. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like you're my homie right now. I felt like $1 million.
You've seen the journey, man. You've seen the ups and the ups and the many crashing down. So like, it's just cool to see. I guess everybody, even people didn't know me, I guess it's just cool. Like, hey, like you did it. Like,
it's crazy.
Once people hear about how long the ride's been, they're like, man, that sucks. But everybody's wanted to give up before. So I think people kind of emphasize with that. Like, we've all wanted to quit on something before.
When you see a guy like Glover Teixeira, 42 years of age, before you get that belt over there, does that like kick you in the ass some more, saying, "Hey, man, this is I can do this"?
It does, man. Glover's 42, man, and that dude's still one of the baddest men on the planet. And now you see him holding that belt, and you're like, bro, it reinforces that, man. Like, as a fighter, your life changes every fight. Your life can change with one fight. And like, look at Glover, man. Like, you spent years in this sport and you became a champion at 42. Did he want to be one at 32? Yeah, for sure. But it didn't happen that way. But he hung in there. He busted his ass, and now we're like, he's one of the baddest men on the planet. Like, it definitely lights a fire under your ass. Like, I may be down, but I'm not out yet.
So the story is pretty interesting, and I know you've said it a million times, so I'm going to try to navigate through this thing so you're not having to repeat the same shit over and over again. But Phil Hawes is a man that is a massive, muscular man. When I made my picks on air, and I didn't put money on the fight because, honestly, I was really rooting hard for you, but I have a confession to make. I picked Phil in the fight. I had a hard time picking you because all I'm thinking is the Ray Cooper story. How you will take a fight no matter what. Like, no matter what. And I didn't know the backstory. I knew you came in on short notice, then the fight fell apart. You're fighting him again. So, like, you're kind of a wild card here, and you come in this fight. You start off in a way where it's like, okay, maybe it's a good thing I picked Phil. And then, pow! What did you hit him in the ribs or the liver, or what happened here?
The first one was a hook to the head, and then what dropped him was the knee to the solar plexus. It looked like, I thought it was liver, but the way he fell looked like solar plexus, and just took the fight. It's like cutting a puppet strings, man. Like, just went straight out.
And when he goes out, okay, I'm trying to get into this, right? He goes out, he hits the ground. What is going through your mind? Okay, let me finish this guy, or holy shit, I just want to fight inside an octagon. Oh, here's Jesse.
My first thought was fuck your fight kit. It was my first thought I had. It was fuck your fight kit.
What?
He talked some shit about he's like, I'm here to be a world champion. Chris Curtis is a guy who's just here for his fight kit. So I'm gonna knock him out. He'll get his fight kit and he'll go home happy. And my first thought was fuck your fight kit.
So you were basically like, ha, gotcha.
Yeah, fuck you, bro. I was really polite the entire time.
Wow.
So my first thought in my head was fuck your fight kit.
Yeah, I mean, this guy, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, everyone was just saying, hey, Chris is just coming in here as a lamb to the slaughter. Meanwhile, you look at your record, for God's sakes. I mean, you only have 8 losses, 27 wins. You fought everywhere. You've been there, done that. So we should have believed in you, Chris Curtis.
It's fine. It's MMA, man. It's a sport where you really realize real fast. Its fans have short, there's a short memory for most things. So, he's new. The UFC's pushed him a lot over the years. So, people are familiar with Phil. Like, with stuff like this, you're gonna pick the what you're familiar with over the unknown. On the flip side, I've been doing this for 14 years, man. Like, they're like, oh, he's a bigger, stronger guy, blah blah blah. I'm like, you guys don't think I've been fighting bigger, stronger dudes before? Like, this is my 35th fight. I'm not gonna panic. You're not gonna like surprise. He was stronger than I thought he was. He's faster than I thought he was for sure. But I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna panic. I've been on my back foot in fights before. Like, it's happened. If I had 12 fights, maybe I would panic. At 35, like, no, you settle down. You do what you got to do. You defend yourself. You find your reads, and you figure out how to win. So, I think people discount experience.
Do you feel?
I've been fighting a long, long, long time, man.
Sure, yeah. I mean, do you feel that now, at this point of the game, everything has slowed down? A lot of these professional athletes in other sports say you could see the ball slower, like everything comes at a slower pace. Do you feel that at this stage of the game?
Yeah, for sure. But I think even more so than slow down. Like, I think I'm at a point in my career to where I always tell people, like, fighting is like when you're in the ring, it's like having a Rolodex, right? To where when things happen, you're like flipping through for scenarios. And when, like, Phil's got, 13 fights? He's got a lot of information, but there's still a lot of blanks. Like, I've been around this for so long, man. I've got answers for a lot of situations because I've been there before. It's happened in a fight that I've lost, I'm sure. It's happened in a fight that I won, I'm sure. So, like, I just have so much information to draw on. Like, oh, he's big and he's strong. It's not the first time I've been there, man. Like, and the same thing happened. He came out. He was stronger than I thought he was. He was faster than I thought he was. So I'm like, okay, I didn't take any damage. Like, the front kicks sucked. Those bothered me a little bit. But I'm not, like, getting hit. I didn't get opened up. I didn't get bruised. I didn't get rocked or anything. I'm like, okay, you can't beat him heads up. He's just too much. He's a great athlete. I can't beat him heads up. I'm going to beat him with experience. And we did.
And we're live with Chris Curtis right now, speaking about his fight with Phil Hawes. And yeah, I mean, it was a rough start to this thing over here, but it never seemed like you felt any concern. You were just kind of chill throughout this thing. We saw Sean Strickland barking in the corner over there. I heard that story. Is this true that he was actually frustrated, so he decided to give the other fighter advice? Is this true?
That wasn't this fight. That's when I fought Kyle Stewart. Where the fight, he was mad that I hadn't finished Kyle. So he, in fact, midway through the fight in the second round, he switches sides. He starts cornering Kyle against me.
So what goes through your mind when that happens? Are you like, oh, fuck this guy? It's just Sean,
It's Sean at this point. I'm like, I'm trying not to laugh. Because Sean's like, oh, this fight should have been over already. So he starts coaching Kyle against me. So Kyle's like, what's going on? And I'm laughing because I'm just like... This is how Sean shows his frustration. He's just the biggest troll who's ever lived.
So now,
and I'm a pretty sizable troll, so that's...
I mean, you seem like you have a great sense of humor. Anytime we've seen you in interviews, anytime we got a chance to speak to you, you're very lighthearted. It is what it is. You just roll with the punches, and it's kind of cool. No pun intended.
I have the real question, though. How many women have claimed you as their new baby daddy ever since your knockout win?
No, so the only thing that happened like that was somebody messaged me, some like David Curtis. He was like, "Are you my father?" And I was like, "I hope not." Like, be really weird for everybody. So
there's always that one person. There's always that one who wants to claim you as like the familial, person ever since your win.
Are you my father? I'm like, I don't think so. That's a weird talk. And, I'm not going to answer this anymore. But no new claims. But man, the "Are you my dad?" one, I was like, oh, this is a weird talk to have. I'm not doing this right now.
Well, so you're in Vegas right now, right? I mean, this is where the ladies are all over the place. Now, I know you have a son. I heard a brief part of the story with ARIEL HELWANI. It was actually pretty fascinating. And he's, 14 years old now, your son?
14, yeah.
But you're still a single man, correct?
Yeah, I'm seeing someone.
Okay.
Seeing someone, yeah.
Off limits, ladies. Off limits.
Yeah,
so was there
single, but yeah, I do.
Wild sex after the fight? Like, what happened here with your lovely lady?
Yeah, I came home and went to sleep for like 2 days. I'm 30. Here's the thing. I'm 34 in experience. I'm also 34 still. Like, Yeah, once you reach a certain age, you're like, all right, like we can do that later. That's just for the weekend specifically. Like I need to sleep first. I'm in bed by 10 now. Like, yeah, I am definitely 34.
So did you have any visions of like, hey, like when you hit the UFC, your first win, you're gonna go out partying afterwards, or is it all like, hey, I just want to get to the big dance and then have some? I saw your post fight meal with some chicken, and that's it, call it a night.
Yeah, like. We got back. O'Day and I fought the same car. We had we had chicken. Everybody went to bed like 11 o'clock. Really.
Were you disappointed with that, or is that what you wanted? That's what you were content with?
Perfect for me, man. Like I'm not a guy who parties. I'm not a guy who like goes and drinks, get drunk or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like large amounts of people, so it's perfect for me, man. Like I'm happy hanging out with my friends. O'Day, his roommate, a really good friend of mine, man. Really good dude. Here with my manager and his wife, and like these are my like friends. These are my close friends. Sean's off somewhere being Sean, so I don't need parties and bottles and shit like that, man. I'm happy being around the people that I'm around every day.
So
eat some food, go to sleep.
After the fight, you went, chilled, and Sean was like chewing on someone's neck in the parking lot.
he would. If you lose sight of him, he will probably attack a homeless man. Like, I don't know, man. Like you gotta be real careful when you take Sean places.
What do you think about the Sean Strickland coming out with like the homicidal thoughts and stuff like that? Did you have anything to say on that?
Well, like you guys, people are like, "Oh, it's an act, right?" I'm like, "No, it's not an act." Like, so when I fought, I think Kyle Stewart XFC. So we're at a grocery store, right in Florida, somewhere in Florida. We're at a Publix. And Sean walks in, and Sean doesn't have a mask on. Oh. And some guy's like, hey, you're not wearing a mask. And Sean's like, yeah, I have asthma. And keeps walking. And the guy's like, okay. So about 6 minutes later, we're in line. And the guy's like, hey, I look at the CDC guidelines. It says that if you have asthma, you should have a mask on. Sean's like, hey, go fuck yourself. The guy's like, this guy has no idea who Sean is, right? No idea. And he's like, hey, you want to take it outside, buddy? And I'm like, bro, like, this kid's wearing skinny jeans and a beanie. He has no idea what he's doing. And I'm like, my guy, like, don't do this. I'm the only one here who can stop this right now, and I'm tired. I'm like, I can't stop this. Like, don't do this. He's like, what? You follow your ears because you wrestled, you're tough? I was like, he'll kill you.
So you basically saved this man's life.
He had no idea. And he's like, really trying to take shots in the parking lot. And I'm like, bro, you don't understand. He'll kill you. He will absolutely kill you. And like, I'm too tired to stop it. Like, I can't. So like, it's not an act. Like, Sean is he's a decent dude for real, but he is like a hair trigger to where like he will become that guy. So it's not an act. He's really just on that edge.
It really has to be refreshing to have a friend in this day of age completely raw, and what you see is what you get, because everyone's such phonies these days, right?
Or sensitive.
I tell people, Sean is the most free man I've ever met in my entire life, because he just doesn't care about like regular social norms. Like you'll be around him, and he'll just say and do things where you're like, man, that's not how society functions anymore. But I've decided that like, he's a Viking. Yeah, he shouldn't be here. Wrong time.
Does it ever rub off on you where you find yourself acting like the way Sean would act and be like, wait, am I being Sean right now, or am I being Chris Curtis?
There are times where like, so there are times he does rub off on you, but you need to have that guy in your group. Every group needs the guy who is like in touch with his inner caveman. Yeah. There are times I'm like, you know what, I'm being Sean too much. But at the same time, like there are times when Sean's angry. I'm like, look, Sean, you're not mad at him. You're mad at your father. Stop it. He's like, yeah, I'm right. So it's an interesting balance that we've maintained here.
That's pretty funny. Now, Chris Curtis was live on the MMA-Holes UFC 268. Got a massive win. Phil Hawes took him out in the first round. And I want to bring it back to, okay, you get the call. You're fighting in the UFC, Madison Square Garden. Now, I've been in the building a million times. I have we had season tickets to the New York Rangers. I've seen many of concerts. I've dragged her to her first concert. I mean, I love MSG. There's so much history there. You getting ready to do the walk, hearing like that buzz of the crowd, the lights are flickering around, your name in the lights. What is going through your head?
It's funny, man, because one of my coaches, Eric Nimsick, actually told me, he's like, I just make that walk. He's like, take a second, man, and just enjoy it. He's like, you deserve to be here. You should have been here a long time ago. So he told me, like, before I make that walk, take a second to enjoy it. So they announce it, and they tell me to walk, and I just kind of take my time for a second. I just wanted to hear it. And it's such a fun feeling, man, because, like, at 35 fights, I don't really get too nervous anymore. You have your little bit of, like, fight jitters, but I'm not – the nerves aren't there like they used to be. You're always worried about the fight, but, like, you lose that, like, fear you had when you were younger. And it was just so cool to hear my music play, to hear everybody cheer. And it wasn't a nervous thing. It was just like, this is what I've worked for. Like, I'm not somebody who's afraid of, like, lights and attention. Why do you guys think I'm doing this? Like, every fighter loves attention. We're all doing this for the attention, because if we just wanted to do shit for money, we go get real jobs. Like, part of this is the glory and the attention. Like, you love it. And for some guys, starting out can be overwhelming, but, like, this is what I spent my entire life for, is the attention, the acknowledgement, and the adoration. It means the world to you. So it was just the greatest feeling in the world, man, was hearing those people there, like, screaming for you.
Did you see anyone as you were making the walk? Did you notice anyone? Was there any family there or celebrities, or did anything stand out before you entered the cage?
No, which is funny, because apparently during the weigh-ins, Halle Berry was next to me, and I had no idea, because without my glasses on, I can't see anything. So like, I can't. It's like built-in tunnel vision, which is great. You don't get distracted. But apparently, Halle Berry has been there all weekend, and I just missed it the entire time, which is very upsetting.
Is she a vampire?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta be honest though. The whole Halle Berry thing, like, listen, it's cool. It's Halle Berry. A-star celebrity, whatever. But it made me. I have to be perfectly honest. The Rose Namajunas versus Weili Zhang face-off, when Halle Berry was the one who was kind of calling between the two.
What would you
like? I couldn't take it seriously. Like, God forbid those two fucking went at each other. And it's like, what's Halle Berry gonna do? Is she gonna step in and be like, "Oh, stop, God"? Like, no.
She's gonna pull a tit out.
I couldn't take it seriously. It felt like a movie.
The only response is like,
it was horrible.
Like, maybe I don't know. That made me laugh, because I didn't know it was Halle Berry. I was like, well, like, yeah, she's here. And I was like, that was her. I was like, well, didn't put two and two together. So, like, why would she be here?
Yeah.
I'm like,
bad,
why would she even be in the building? I don't understand, like, what she's doing here. So, yeah, it's weird as fuck for me, too. I'm like, okay, like, weird flex, but cool.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's always cool to meet her for the first time, right? To be like, oh, it's Halle Berry, whatever. But then, like, what do you do? Like, she's just fucking there. Like,
Right? Like, Billy, how did you not know it was Halle Berry? I was like, that could have been any light-skinned woman. Why would I assume it was Halle Berry? Like, you have no reason to be here.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to buy a pay-per-view. Halle Berry's there. Let's,
she's selling it.
How could I miss that? Like, shit, Halle Berry's in the building. Like, yeah.
Well, I have to admit, I've beaten off to Halle Berry's Monsters Ball sex scene. When I was a child, like, that was a home run.
Make me feel good. We've all beaten off to that scene, bro. It's fine. Like, we've all, like, it's fine.
All right, at least we're all on the same page here.
The young guys, people before, like, before Pornhub, we had to make do with what we could. Like,
it's so true. VHS tapes, rewinding shit. Oh my God. Terrible.
Nobody's awake.
Well, you know what? I want to segue this to the Action Man nickname.
That too. I'm curious now. Like,
the Action Man nickname's hilarious. And when I saw you tell the story on ARIEL today, I think it's funny because ARIEL kind of got his asshole, his sphincter went up. Like, he was afterwards. He's like, well, I didn't know it was going that direction.
Yeah, right.
So you were 16 years old in some girl's house. Were you plowing away? Was the ball slapping, like, going crazy?
You're trying. You're 16. You're trying to get it in when you can, man. And it all failed. Oh man, it's just bad. All of that went bad.
That's so funny. Like, so now the parents are rolling up. You're like, holy shit! Here's a tree. Let me jump down. Like,
bro, like when you're fucking a kid, you're stupid. You don't take it like. When you're a kid, you never take into account gravity and, like, velocity. That shit doesn't matter to you. You're learning about it, but, like, you haven't had a real world experience where that shit comes into play. You're just like, shit I learned in school. So 16-year-old me is like at 215 pounds, I can jump out of a tree like and grab a tree branch as I fall. Not taking into account like, bro, Newton's like, no, bro, no, it doesn't work that way. So I hit that branch and it just snapped. Like there was no slowing, just snapped, slams me into like 10 other branches down a tree. It was just, man, like you you didn't think that through at all.
So you hopped in the car, drove off, and they never caught, the parents didn't get you?
No, I escaped. I hit 4 branches. I ended up turning upside down. I ended up backflipping out of the tree. Like landed upside down. Then I'm like a front roll forward to catch myself and came up running. All the while they're in the car, absolutely screaming and dying like this. I look like an asshole flying out of a tree, like falling down, like Homer Simpson level of just failure.
Do you think that they let the parents
take off
in?
And they're dying.
Do you think they let the parents in on purpose? Your friends?
Was it a setup?
No, I think they were. I think they're just shitty friends. They're 16. You're 16. Like your friends are shitty, and no other 16-year-old should be like trusted with like guard duty. Like it's exactly why you can't join the military until like 18. Because 16-year-olds can't be trusted on guard duty.
Do you keep in touch with these kids? Are you still like down the road? Are you still friends with them, or they were just the 16-year-old friends?
Yeah, I know. I still know a lot of them still. Yeah, like, I still talk to a lot of them. We talk as much, but like they're well aware. So they're the ones that gave it to me. And then when I was 18, I kind of moved away as I got out of high school, and I worked at a video game store. And like my group of friends now that I've had for like 12 years, they met me, and one of my old friends told them the Action Man story. My group of friends now learned it then, and they have run with it as well. So I've been the Action Man at weddings, family events, everything. Like I am a hardcore the Action Man, and they still refer to me as Action Man.
I love that that's your nickname. You hear all these stories of, hey, I was in the gym doing this, now I'm this. That's my new name. You're the Action Man because of this story is just legendary. You could never do anything again. This is amazing.
It's the people are just like, that is not the story I thought it was. It's like, no, nothing cool. It was 16 trying to get laid, and like the extent you go to escape parents.
That's hysterical. So now here you are in the UFC. Okay, now it's like, and I heard that you are looking to take any fight, and a fight just drops. Jorge Masvidal falls off the Leon Edwards fight. It looks like those two are cursed. They're never going to fight each other. I see Khamzat Chimaev throwing his name in the mix. I would love to see Khamzat Chimaev jump in there. But what about the Action Man? How about we put the Action Man in that situation? Would you fight at welter?
When is that fight?
That fight is December. Hold on, I got it on our thumbnail. I think it's December 11th.
So like that one may be a little bit early, but like on the December 11th card, they called me because they asked me if I would fight Andre Muniz, the number 15 middleweight. And I was like, yes, I'm down. Let's go. But they ended up giving that to Eric Anders because his guy fell off. So I was like, okay, fine. And then yesterday they're like, well, do you want to fight this weekend? Do you want to fight Kyle Dawkins? And I was like, also yes, I will do that. But I got screwed on that one because New York suspends you for 7 days automatically.
Oh, okay.
So I can't, they won't lift that suspension. It's their mandatory 7-day no matter what. So I was like, I wanted to fight Kyle Dawkins. I was like, I'm in. I'll fight Kyle Dawkins this weekend. But New York screwed me on that one.
Wow, so you're just looking to get right back in there. And what weight class are we looking to? Are we going to stay in a weight class, or are you going to bounce back and forth? I know you look pretty comfy at middleweight.
Middleweight's nice because I'm an undersized middleweight, but when I go to 170, my camps become a lot more about my weight and losing the weight as opposed to like learning or improving things. I'm focused primarily on making the weight. At 85, I can eat. I'm never hungry at 85. I can train at full capacity all week because I'm never having a diet. So maybe, we'll think about putting some muscle on, saying at 85. If something comes up at 70, I'll do that too. So right now, we describe it as I'm kind of playing with house money right now. Like if I fight at 85, I can keep fighting at 85 until I lose. And then if I lose, I'm like, well, I'm a fucking welterweight anyway. Like you all know I'm a welterweight. I'm just up here like hanging out, having fun, doing whatever. So we'll keep fighting at 85 until something comes up or until I get beat out the weight class. Then we'll go back to 70. But for right now, man, you're just playing with house money. Like, fuck it. Why not just really have fun, run with it, and get all the fights that I can.
Well, the question would be, I mean, I'm sure people have said this, but if you hang out at middleweight, I mean, the crash course with Sean Strickland, would you fight him?
Dude, Sean would fight me in a heartbeat, and I would fight Sean in a heartbeat. And we would, if they're paying us, hell yeah, we would beat the shit out of each other. Like, we would do it. They wouldn't even, like, there wouldn't even be, like, a weirdness. We would still, I promise you, we would train together for the fight.
Wow, that would be so. No, I mean, I'm sure you guys have had scraps many of times in the gym.
Sean and I have fist fought, like actual fist fought in the gym before. We've been kicked out of the gym 3 times for fist fighting each other.
Really?
So we got mad and started, like, literally started fighting each other, like fist fight. He tried to head kick me with no shin guards on when he was mad. Like, we have had actual brawls.
Who gets?
Like, would you fight Sean? And we're both getting paid. He's like, Kurt, you're a bitch if you don't do this. We're gonna get paid.
That's wild. Who gets the bet in the exchanges? Can you tell?
Dude, Sean, no, I'm not afraid to say this video of it. Like, so at 70, I could hang with Sean pretty decently. We used to have some battles. At 85, Sean's a big 85er, bro. Like, when he went up to 85, like, he put on some size, but he didn't get any slower, and his cardio didn't diminish. So now he's just bigger. He's stronger than he was, and he maintains the same cardio. I'm not physically big enough to fight Sean anymore, which, you know, as his friend, which sucks for Camp because I can't give him the rounds that I used to, because I'm like, bro, I'm just not a big enough human right now to actually give you rounds. Like, you'll see him, he'll, like, throw me around like a child because he's fucking Sasquatch. So, like, I had to put on some weight for that. But, you know, it's he's just that dude's gonna be a champion. Like, and I promise you that dude's gonna be a champion. Like, it's just every now and then you see people who are special. Like, you know, he's, I'll say, like, completely, like, honestly, he's special. He's gonna be a champ. He's
having some run, and Jesse's favorite fighter, Israel Adesanya.
I was just gonna go there. I was gonna say, all right, you make it up at middleweight. You make it up to the top. You versus Izzy. How does it go down?
I probably get head kicked, man. He's like 6'4". Like, so I don't know, man. I don't want to fight Izzy. Like, he's just, there's a thing about, like, 6'4" kickboxers to where I'm like, I don't really want to do this, man. Like, I don't want to fight a 6'4" kickboxer. That's when we retreat back to 170. Like, 170 title fight, I'm down. 185 title fight, I have no interest in it.
So let's talk the 170 path then. Let's talk about this. I mean, there are a lot of moving pieces. Kamaru Usman has basically dismantled all the top guys up there. So, I mean, I think I've argued with a lot of people about this. I see Kamaru as the best welterweight of all time. I know he's got some work to do right now.
I can't say that.
You know,
I don't think you can say any MMA fighter is the best fighter of all time. The sport's like 30 years old. That's like, imagine going back to the onset of boxing and there being like, he's the best fighter of all time. And like, okay, people would say that, but we have no idea who they were talking about right now. Like, I think it's still too early in the sports life cycle to say anyone's the best fighter of all time.
Yeah, 100%.
I think ESP is the best fighter of our era. The best welterweight of our era.
I'm looking at it like this. So he still has work to do, of course, you know, to beat the GSP records and all that stuff. So GSP on paper definitely is the best. It's just what I'm seeing with this guy right now, how he went from the Ultimate Fighter and has basically been unstoppable, 30%, and now he's starting to ramp it up, and he's just getting more confident. He's getting scarier and scarier. With GSP, he laid on a couple of guys, put me to sleep a couple of times, you know. But Kamaru Usman is like getting to that level right now where he's just like, he's in the zone and he is really scary.
I prefer Usman's skill set for sure. I think like he's shown the most improvement. And you know, GSP did kind of ruin. Well, Matt Serra technically ruined MMA for like 3 years when he beat GSP. And then we got wrestling GSP, which ruined MMA for a few years.
Yeah, I agree.
It did. Like, I say all the time, Matt Serra ruined MMA for 3 years. Like, completely ruined it. And gave us lay and pray GSP. But I think Usman is just, he's scary because he evolves so quickly. He's like a fucking cartoon character, man, to where like he gets new skills as the plot demands. And it's terrifying when a human, like a person does that. You're just like, man. And he knocks out Masvidal, and you're like, okay, didn't see that coming. He pieces up Kobe before that. And he just builds new skills every time you see him. And it's just like, how do you fight a guy like that? Like, you never know what skills he's picked up in the interim from the time you saw him last to now.
That's interesting.
Like, dude's a problem.
that you put it that way because it feels like a video game, right? He's upgrading his weapons every time he gets back in there.
He gets new moves as the plot. You ever watch Dragon Ball Z? Like he's like,
no,
it's Goku, bro. It's Goku. Like he's like, oh, you can't beat this enemy, and now he has a new move. Like where was like, how did you just get a power up? Fuck it, whatever. The plot doesn't need it. That's how Usman is. He just gets new skills as the plot demands, and you're like, this is stupid. Like it's not even funny anymore.
Well, I noticed something. You picked up some pretty good skills along the way. You stopped 3 of the takedowns by a muscle Phil Hawes over here. Your takedown defense is pretty much on point, and your striking is pretty damn good. I think you got better striking than Usman. You got fire in your hands. You could stop the takedown. You might be the new champ here.
No, I'm not fighting. I don't want to fight Usman. It's dude. Yeah, I'm cool. Like no, absolutely not. Like. I have a list of people. There's a very small list of people I don't want to fight, like actively, and like especially on my weight, I don't want to like people that scare me. Usman's a cool dude, but like, dude, he's just, I don't want to do it. Like, nah, man, like this is a fun fight. You hit like, dude, he hits hard now. He's got apparently cardio that's like probably better than mine somehow, and I don't. Because he's as big as he is, he shouldn't be able to go that long. And then he's like, oh yeah, by the way, like super wrestler. I'm like, no, nothing about this seems fun. No, fun. No, people are like, are you going to go for a title run? I'm like, no, I am trying to. They're like, oh, yeah, fast track to the title. I'm like, bro, I am trying to get all the low hanging fruit I can. I'm trying to get paid. I am not trying to fight Kamaru Usman. I'm going to knock off the low hanging fruit. Like, I'm okay being that guy.
I love your honesty, but you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of raging Ally Quinta. Now, he hasn't looked good lately, but Ally Quinta was dodging Khabib at all costs. When he was asked in interviews, he didn't want any part of the guy. Next thing you know, he's in a title fight with him. He goes 5 rounds with Khabib over here. I think Khabib...
Yeah,
I think Khabib pumped the brakes, to be honest, on Al. But in this situation here, I mean, you could never say never. 1 minute you're fighting Philip Hawes, you get the knockout. Next thing you know, a couple of fights in, you might be talking about some title shot. Is it without?
Don't get it wrong. If they offer it and they pay me, I'll do it. But I'm not like, yeah, I'm not. You know, if it comes up, yeah. But I'm not gonna fast track my way to it. If they're like, hey, well, you want to fight for a title and they pay me, I'm like, I will do anything for money at this point in my life. Like it's a very small list that I won't do, so I'll definitely do it. But I don't know. I think people make mistakes in like fast tracking title runs because even at 35 fights, I've still got room to grow. I've still got things to learn and everything else. So if they offer it, sure, but I'm not going to go hunt for it right away. Like, no, I spent a long time to get to this point. I'm trying to stack as much money as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Now, is Khamzat Chimaev on that list of get the hell away from me?
Oh, dude, I've sparred Khamzat a lot. Like, he was in Vegas for like a few months, and that dude can go fuck with somebody else. I don't want to bother with him. Like, it's him. Like, he's in that tier of Sean where I'm just like, you all don't have regular stats. Like, if we're a game right now, I feel like somebody, like, you remember Game Shark? Like, somebody cheated. Like, your stats don't make sense. Like, the dude is just freakishly strong. I'm like, nah, man. Like, if it comes up, you know, sure, whatever. Like, yo, are you gonna call him out? Like, fuck no.
Did you see his response on Twitter? Masvidal falls out, and he's just like, put me in against Leon Edwards. Like, no fucks given. Just put me in there. It's like,
he's such a cool dude. Like, I got to train with him for like 2 months. He's such a cool dude, man. Like, I had a lot of fun training with him. He's such a nice dude, but the dude really believes in himself. Like, he genuinely has that belief in himself that like he'll smash anything. And I'm like, fuck, bro, go get him. Like, I think he's a problem for Leon Edwards. Honestly, I think he's a real bad matchup.
I agree.
Like,
I think he's
got the length on him. He's got a lot of power, and you're not gonna out wrestle Khamzat. I don't think Leon can out wrestle Khamzat. So like, how do you win that fight?
What do you say now? I'm like all over Usman since the Ultimate Fighter, but I said there's one piece in the situation that could be his kryptonite, and I know it's very premature to say it, but I see Khamzat Chimaev being a problem. Am I off on this, or what do you think?
I don't know, because I don't know. So the biggest thing I think wow, brain freeze. Usman, the biggest issue, like someone who could provide a challenge, they're gonna have to be someone who's so confident in their wrestling that they take away the threat of his takedown. I think Usman has a lot of success in fighting in general because people are terrified of the takedown. Mm-hmm. absolutely terrified. You don't want him on top of you. You don't want him grinding on you. And like, look at Masvidal. Masvidal got slept because he was so focused on not being taken down that, you know, he gave up his defense to try to stop the takedown that wasn't there. So with Khamzat, you get a guy who's super confident in his wrestling. But if I had to rank their wrestling, I don't have enough information to, you know, head to head to see like who's got the better wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you know, I'm sure Khamzat believes he can out wrestle him, but I just don't know if his wrestling's good enough to where he can just stop the takedown to where it becomes a non-issue.
Mm-hmm.
If he's confident he can stop the takedown to a non-issue, stand-up wise, I think that's a really bad matchup for Usman.
Now you have a striking background and everything like that. I noticed with Kamaru Usman, I'm just a fan sitting on a couch but shoving popcorn in my face. But is it me, or does he like throw these punches where he just looks reckless, like ducking his head and freaking flinging hooks? Is that recommended?
I mean, no, not really. Like, it's sometimes like you watch when he fought Colby, there's a lot of those where he's like heads offline, he's like throwing this really wide overhand, which is dangerous, but. We did to Colby a few times. He did it, and when Colby went to counter, he just barreled through him, like, you know, he's closed in. But it's not the greatest way to do it. Even the punch he knocked out Masvidal with was wild, and like, had that not landed, you know, a knee could have been a big issue there. So like, he's still getting better, he's still improving, but when he needs, I think like he doesn't trust his footwork yet. So when he throws like a cross, he feels more confident in the power when he lobs it as opposed to snapping it.
Gotcha.
But, you know, who knows how long that'll be until he's comfortable, you know, stepping, you know, twisting his hips and snapping that punch. Then everything changes. But I think it's just, you know, like he's a wrestler who learned to box. So there's still like some like the transitionary stages to where he struggles with. But like look how much those have improved too. So I think he'll get better with time.
Interesting. We're live with Chris Curtis. Got a couple more questions. I want to pull some stuff from the live chat as well. So get your questions in the live chat.
I can't see that chat. My eyes are crap. I'm sorry. I'm not ignoring you guys. I just cannot read that.
I'll pull it out for you. I'll get the good ones out. So UFC calls you. You get in there. You do your job, and a beautiful night for you. So what is? I mean, you've been on the regional scene. You've been on PFL. The whole deal. How is the pay entering into the UFC? What are we looking at here?
I started out a little bit higher than the regular starting pay. Well, I think like contender pay is like coming up like I think the contender contracts is like 10 and 10, I think, and it jumps per fight. But mine was a little bit higher than that because like short notice and all that. I don't know if I'm allowed to actually say what I make. You
can say it. It's fine. I won't tell anyone. There's no one watching right now. No one's watching. You can say it right now.
I gotta ask the UFC. They're very weird about like what you can and can't say.
All right.
I got the first day for like posting of a clip of the fight. The media's like, whoa, you can't do that. You can't do that. So I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
so I gotta ask about that.
Yeah, they're very on the fights. Go ahead.
It's definitely significantly better than anything you'll ever see in the regional scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like this one fight, without the bonus included, like, you know, I went from like $10 in my bank account to comfortably in the black with the way I live. I could honestly like not work the next year and be fine.
Wow. That's awesome, man. That's great. Good for you, man. Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So now, I mean, you're on a card where you should have had a bonus, but then all of a sudden you just so happen to be smack in the middle of a fiery...
The worst part of the year trying to get a bonus.
Could you imagine, like I was watching, I mean, who wasn't watching? Chandler Gaethje, right? That was just an amazing back and forth, just brutal carnage. That was beautiful. But could you imagine being Quarantillo and Burgos after that? Like, how the hell do you follow that? And then they put on a fight where there was more strikes landed. It was just insanity with that one. I mean, how the hell do you get up after a fight that just happened like that?
Dude, hats off to them, because I was like, that's a hard fucking act to follow. It's sad because like no one's talking about it because of the Gaethje Chandler, but they had an amazing fight, man. Like, but it's one of those ones that I think as we move away from the event, it'll get more love and appreciation because they fought their asses off.
Yeah, and the card.
The entire card was crazy. I watched a 270-pound man like spinning wheel kicker guys. So like, it's just what a card.
Would you ever walk out to the cage like that, do a little dancing?
a much better dancer than I am. I can salsa about it. Like, hats off to Chris Barnett. Like, that dude is. He's like a Dave Chappelle skit, like in flesh. It's crazy. Like, he just doesn't seem like a real person, but nicest dude ever. But he's just out there.
What does Joe Rogan smell like? I mean, you got up close and personal to him. Does he smell like marijuana? What does he smell like?
Like sandalwood. I was like, oh, he actually smells wonderful. Like sandalwood. Yeah, whatever like cologne he had on was great. I was like, yeah, you smell like sandalwood, bro. Like, yeah. It'd be weird, but he smells great. Yeah.
The next interview, the next post-fight interview, she's like, "You smell delicious, Joe Rogan. What do you think?"
You smell like rainbow. Like, yeah, like, Jesus.
And Bruce Buffer, who we actually are very friendly with. I love Bruce Buffer, man. I hope that guy never retires. And he's announcing your name. Were there chills going through your body?
That was probably the greatest feeling in my entire. Even better than the win was hearing Bruce Buffer announce me. Like, even more exciting for me was the win, was like hearing Bruce Buffer fucking announce you. You don't know how long I've waited for that, man. And like to finally hear it, like it really did kind of like put ice in my veins for a second. So
how do you shake off that? Like, Bruce Buffer says your name, you're like, holy shit. I walked to the cage, no problems. The crowd, nothing affects me. Bruce Buffer says my name. Now I got to beat this guy up. Like, how do you switch?
Because we touched gloves, I looked over, and this is the first time in my entire career that I was like, I am not the scary black man in this fight. And like, I'm not the big scary black man because Phil Hawes is fucking huge. And I was like, oh my God, is that what that feels like? To like have to fight the giant scary black guy? I was like, is that what people feel like? This is horrible. So like, need to switch real quick because I was like, this is a giant muscular man who's trying to hit me in the face. So that shit leaves real fast because I like my face. I've already got enough damage. I'm not trying to get hit more than I need to. Yeah. That's a big ass dude across from me.
You know, not only did he have all the muscles, he was rocking the blonde Brunson as well, which is scary.
So I used to have blonde hair. So the funny thing was, I was gonna do it. I couldn't get somebody to do it in time. I was gonna dye my hair for fight week. I was gonna bleach my hair. Never comment on it the entire week. So I was gonna bleach my hair and just walk around as Phil Hawes, but not bring any attention to it to see if it piss him off. But I couldn't just I talked to somebody like, you need 2 weeks to get the correct color. I was like, oh, so I was gonna be Philip. I was gonna go cosplay the entire week as Phil.
That would have been amazing. That would have been amazing.
I was so upset I couldn't do it. I was going to cosplay as Phil Hawes for the entire week. It was going to be glorious.
So is this something we can expect? The next fight, you're going to be in there trolling your opponent, having a little fun?
I like to have fun. Like, people always, I laugh because like you see like weigh-ins and shit. People are trying to stare you down and make you scared and like be tough. I'm like, bro, we fight in 24 hours. Like, nothing you do right now is going to scare me or change the fact that we fight tomorrow. Like, get the fuck over it. So I try to have fun with it, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I enjoy it. Enjoy the moment. Like, you're going to fight the next day. Nothing's going to bother you. So I do try to have fun with it. So if I can get to think of something fun to do, I will definitely do it.
All right. I'm looking forward to that. Now I'm going to pluck some questions from the live chat. Get your questions in there, and then we'll let you go. Okay, so someone in the chat says, have you ever gotten hard during wrestling practice?
So, yes, but I was wrestling a woman, first of all. So, yeah, wrestling a guy, no. That hasn't happened yet. That's that's an issue for another day, I guess.
So you were rolling with a young lady and all of a sudden, poop, got wood?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, that's awkward. That actually worked out in my favor later. So, yeah, fun story about it. But, yeah, worked out in my favor. But, yeah, that was like, oh, this could be awkward. But she was like, oh, hey, this is nice. And then that went in my favor.
So you had an intimate moment with her, you're saying?
Oh, yeah, I definitely, like, you know, like it happens. You got to roll with it. And, like, you can either be awkward or you can just roll with it and, roll the dice. And, I rolled 7. So.
Did she, like when you're at a club and you're dancing, the boner comes up, the girl feels it, she knows, okay, let's go for it. Is that what happened here? Did she feel this during practice? Is it like nothing needs to be said?
Oh, she felt it and she was like, oh, and she looked at me and looked at her and I was like, all right, my bad. I'm like, look, it's a biological response. I had no control over that. I apologize. She laughed and she thought it was funny. And she hit me up after practice. And then, yeah, like.
Wow.
And that way. Good times, though.
I tell you what, man, if I was rolling with some young lady, they wouldn't feel a damn thing. That's my problem over there.
I love that. This entire scenario could have ended like south really bad. So I got lucky.
They wouldn't feel anything because of my size. That was a joke. Anyway, how did getting hit by those soccer kicks to the gut in the beginning of what the fuck? Soccer kicks.
I know what he's saying. Yeah. Oh, bro, they sucked. So not a single. I was never hurt at all in the fight from punches. But goddamn that! So the funny thing was, my goal was okay. We're gonna stop the wrestling. We're gonna front kick him, right? We throw those teeps. He comes out and he starts throwing them. After the second one, I was like, "This is a really good plan. I should have done it first." It was my plan. He did it first, and he kicked the shit out of my ribs. I was like, "This is a really good plan. We should have done it first because those kicks sucked."
So is that why you dipped into the kick into the body? Is that why? Because of, hey, it sucked on you. Let's inflict it right back on him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was like, bro. Oh man. I was like, oh, that sucked. I'll kick you back because this has been like those two of those front kicks. I felt his toes go between my rib, and I was like, well, this isn't a great time. Like, well played. I should probably do something else. So it was my plan. He did it first, and I was like, you know what? I am a genius because that was a great plan.
Oof, man, I wouldn't want to experience that. I see Meridian Heights in the chat says, ask Chris, the action man, about come on, fight me. Come on, fight me. - Chris Curtis. Do you know what he's talking about?
So he's talking about my PFL fight, I believe, when I fought Magomed the first time. And Magomed's a good dude. He's a nice guy, man. I just hate the way he fights. He's he's like a little parasite. Like, I felt like when we fought, he wasn't trying to win. He was just holding on, trying to control position. And I get up at one point, and I get up away from him. I back up, and I'm screaming at him. I'm like, at this point, I don't lose my cool usually, but I'm just furious. Like, I didn't come here to do this. So I get up, and I'm screaming at him, like, get up, fucking fight me. Like, come fight me. And I learned later he doesn't speak a lick of English. So, like, I'm screaming at him. He's looking at me like, what is happening? Because I'm like fucking foaming at the mouth, screaming at him. He's just looking at me like I have no idea what's going on. Didn't speak a word of English. So I was just pissed off. And look at jackass because he had no idea what I was saying.
Well, he didn't want the action, right? He didn't want the action, man. He just want. What is up with these guys like laying on each other? Like, I noticed that judges now, if you're laying on your opponent, you got to be active. If you're not active, they're not going to be giving you dubs anymore. Have you noticed that?
I have. We were talking about it a few fights ago when Johnny Parsons, a buddy, a teammate of mine, fought Contenders to where he got taken down, but the guy wasn't doing anything on top. And we were like kind of concerned that he may have lost the fight, but we're like, well, how'd they score it? Because Johnny's on his back trying to do stuff, and this dude's just holding him. And they scored it for Johnny. So I'm starting to see the judges are takedowns mean less if you don't do anything with them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome because takedowns shouldn't mean anything if you don't do anything with it. Like, it's just being bigger than someone and holding them down isn't a skill. What you do when you get them down matters. If I'm just holding you down through sheer force, that's not really fighting. It's not really a skill. You're just being a bigger human.
I tell you what, man, I'm so happy to see that because there has been some fights here where it's just like, come on, stand them up. What are we doing? And you feel for the guy on the bottom.
Yeah, like there are some times no matter how good you are, if there's like a big enough size differential that you're just not getting the fuck up, the guy wants to hold you there. So now you came to fight. The fans pay money to see you fight. And this dude's like, I'm going to ride out the next 5 minutes until the round's over. And it's just, like, not a knock to the guy on the bottom, whatever, but like if the dude's just bigger than you and he's dead set on holding you down, a lot of times he can just hold you there.
Well, Chris, this has been an amazing appearance. I thank you for coming on again. Congratulations coming into the UFC, a UFC fighter, for God's sakes. I mean, it's something else. The Contender Series, you finish your opponent. Dana White says no. Did you pass him in the hallway during UFC 268 and say, here I am, motherfucker? Like, what happened here?
No, I'm not pissing off Dana White. Like, bro, it took me this long to get here. That dude can throw eggs at my house. I'm not going to be upset at this point. I'm just like, bro, apparently he's happy with my performance. So he said he'd give me a bonus for, the performance. So apparently he's happy that I'm there. He's happy with what I did. So get on the boss's good side, man. Keep me around, like make me some money. I'll try to make you some money. I'll do it.
There you go. And guys like you that will fight anybody is what he's looking for, especially with the coronavirus pandemic, people falling out of fights. The Action Man is here. Congratulations. It's good to see. Can't wait to see what's next for Chris Curtis. When you have a fight coming up, you're always welcome back on here. How's that sound?
I'll definitely be back, man. I love you guys. I love the support, man. I'll definitely be back.
And if
I love you A-Holes as well, man. You guys are awesome.
If there's any shout-outs you want to sponsors or anything like that, go for it.
No. You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at ActionMan513. Outside of that, I think I'm out of sponsors right now. Ooh, eat Crumble cookies. There you go.
There you go. Chris Curtis, thanks again for coming on, and looking forward to your next fight.
Later, guys. I'll catch you later. Thank you for having me.
There he is, the Action Man, live on the MMA-Holes. How about that, friends? Chris Curtis. Chris fucking Curtis. What do you say? Look at that. The Action Man over here. I mean, listen, he has been running around from interview to interview, doing all the shows, and he made some time for the MMA-Holes, the greatest show of all time. A shout out to Chris Curtis, and it's weird, man. We've seen him fighting in CES back in the day, and then PFL rooting him on, and he was supposed to fight in Bellator. That fell through, and he had coronavirus twice. He's 34 years old, makes his UFC debut, and gets a knockout in the first round. Something else, man. Something else. And I have some friends that, were in the Contender Series. It didn't work out for them. And look at Chris Curtis. Never say never. You never know. So it's a good story. Glover Teixeira, Chris Curtis. And now we're going to roll into someone else here. Someone that's new to the people. Someone that we are going to introduce to the MMA-Holes. Someone who is from fighting at Bare Knuckle FC 22 this Friday night. And it's exciting to have him on. Let me give him a call right now. And let's get Tyler Randall on the show. Let's do that as I go through my Skype situazione over here. If you're having some fun, make sure you smash the like button. Any donations come in, we'll get to them. We will definitely get to them. But let me get Tyler on real quick. And if you're just jumping in, Khamzat Chimaev throwing his name in the hat. Jorge Masvidal, unfortunately, is out. Leon Edwards. You gonna fight the wolf? You gonna fight the old wolf? All right, let's call up Tyler. Let's get him in the room as I switch the names. Get to Skype close up over here. Whoa, look at that. That's like who. Tyler isn't online. All righty. We'll get him. We'll get him on here. But Tyler Randall from BKFC. And what do you guys think about Chris Curtis, man? What a story. Let's see. Calling now. Yeah, I mean, something else. Really something else. Nobody saw that coming. And like I said to him, I made my pick up. I couldn't bet on that fight because the crazy story. I mean, he's told so many stories over and over again, so I didn't make him tell all the stories again. But there was a story about in PFL where he lost to Magomedov, whatever the hell, the guy with 1 million first names. And PFL says, "Hey, Magomed can't fight. You're fighting Ray Cooper now." And he literally had to put down his sandwich and put up back his shorts and go back out there and fight Ray Cooper. His only knockout. His only time he's gotten knocked out in his career. He literally, people see him just get knocked out to Ray Cooper, but they just ask him, hey, come back out and fight. The guy is game. He's always game. So, did you ever get Baby Hulk on? Yes. He was on last Wednesday night. Great guy, Baby Hulk. He is fighting, I think, this Friday as well. Once we get that information, the exact date and stuff like that, and links and stuff. Oh, where are you, Tyler? Okay, Tyler isn't online. Okay, let me see. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take a quick break, and then we're gonna get Tyler in the business. So I'll be right back. Oh shit, I can't do that. All right, here we go. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play a little music. Ba, 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 ba. We're gonna get Tyler Randall on the show real quick. You guys got head movement in the chat. We're trying to get Tyler Randall on the show. And we'll continue the craziness. 166 people, 112 likes. What are we doing over here? Keep on smashing that like button.
Yes, bitch! Yes! Chris! Chris! Yes! 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 I love you, Chris!
That is the glove touch. The fucking glove touch with his reaction to Chris Curtis. Play that for Chris. What other show? Like, you know, I was thinking about this. You know, there's a lot of interview shows out there. We pretty much are a one-stop shop for everything. We do interviews. We do fight reactions. We do a little comedy, a little deliver the news. We break it all. But the whole thing is, it's for the people. This show is for the people over here. Here we go. I think we got Tyler. Okay, here we go. I think we got Mr. Tyler Randall. Let's go into the guest room over here. Tyler Randall making his BKFC debut. We have contact. Tyler, do you hear me? All right, we'll get this ironed out very shortly. But the good news is we have contact. The bad news is we don't have any video or audio. So that's problematic. But once we get Tyler set up over here, away we go. I love you, Chris. Oh, what up, Bro Plata in the chat? Go subscribe to Bro Plata. Bro Plata, live on the MMA-Holes. All right, Tyler, you hear me? Any luck? So we got him through. I think he's having some technical difficulties here. That's all right. We'll get it going. I have a screaming baby downstairs, the whole deal. A little something for everybody. Okay, let me send him a message. No video or audio. If we could even just get the audio, we can conduct the interview. But BKFC is this Friday, BKFC 22, and we're gonna do a live reaction to it. I think Bellator is that night as well. But we haven't done a reaction to BKFC in a little while. I took a little break, but since Tyler's fighting on the card, fuck it. Let's give it a go. So we're gonna react to a little BKFC over here. Tyler, the creator, he's like me, not tech savvy. Yeah, I mean, I think this might be the first time he's using this, so we're gonna have to give him a little learning curve. If we can't get him on tonight, we could always catch him perhaps after the fight. But let's see. We'll try to get him on here. Your Rangers are hot, dude. I mean, are they playing tonight? They did a nice job against Flo Rida, and they got a solid team, man. They're looking pretty good. No, they're not playing tonight. Let's see. It's just black. Let me try calling him again. Let's see. We're having problems with Tyler here. Accept. Video call. All right, let's see. We're going to get him. We're going to get it going here. All right, so it's connecting. It's connecting. Now. We'll get him on. We're relentless over here. We're going to get Tyler. Is anyone in the chat familiar with Tyler Randall? Maybe got teammates. Oh, here we go.
Hey.
Oh, I got something here.
Hey.
Wait, hold on a second.
What up?
Okay, so I hear.
I'm at the gym right now.
Wait, hold on a second. So Tyler, we hear you, but we we hear it calling. Let me try calling back again here. We have two things going on for some reason. All right. Oh my gosh. What the fuck is going on there? That's weird. I heard him, but I heard the ringing too. Maybe it could be. He said he was at the gym. Maybe it's the internet connection. Got a screaming baby. This is poor baby's upset. Tyler, we can't get Tyler on. It's a whole thing. But we had Chris Curtis on, and that was good. If you're jumping in for the Chris Curtis interview, run it back, and we will, and you can check out that interview. I think Chris did a great job. Chris was fantastic. He was wonderful, wonderful. It's got to be the Wi-Fi, I guess. Maybe it's just not. I don't know. That's the first time it's ever happened where now it's black, but I got nothing. I think he might be having some technical difficulties here because it went through a Chris with no problem. Let's see. Go like this. This is weird. What's the deal? Yeah, now it's not even going through. This is a bummer. Live TV. This is what happens on live TV. Sometimes we don't have a producer behind the scenes that can handle the technical stuff, unfortunately. Yeah, he's saying any luck. Yeah, it's not even going through to him. Let me try this. Let me just quit out of here. Okay. Open it back up. Okay. Come on, let's get Tyler in here. Let's get him in here. We'll switch scenes for a sec. We're going to get him. We're going to get him, man. We're going to get him. Tyler Randall. So, okay. Maybe it's just Skype. Could be. It's calling right now, so. And it says he's not online. What the fuck? So the weird thing is the email. All right, we might have to scrap this. Can't get him. Maybe what we can do is phones. Maybe we can call let's try that. May have to call them phones. Tyler Randall. Live TV. Oh, I think we got.
Oh,
okay,
can you hear me?
I hear you. Oh, hold on. We're getting there now. We're getting somewhere. Okay, we did it, Tyler. We did it.
Nice. Hello? We made it.
All right, Tyler. If you could put it sideways for a second here, a little tilt-a-rooski. All right. What are we in the sauna? What's going on here, Tyler?
Yeah, we're in the sauna right now. We're losing a little bit of weight.
Okay, and thank you for coming on, cutting some weight. I mean, it's always tough weight cutting, and you're getting ready for your debut in Bare Knuckle FC. You excited, buddy?
Oh, yes, sir. I'm extremely excited. It's going to be different, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Highlight reel on the way, right?
Man, oh man. Now, listen, we've watched many of these events. We have some friends that compete in it, and it is so much fun to watch the athletes compete with no gloves on, beating the living snot out of each other's faces. And how do you prepare yourself mentally? If I'm not mistaken, you're coming from an MMA background, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm coming from an MMA background. I mean, yeah, martial arts. I've done different things my whole career as for striking and stuff like that. But yeah, MMA background mostly.
And I noticed when I was looking through, you fought for Triton Fights. We have friends over at Triton Fights over there.
Nice. Yeah, I fought for them. I made my MMA debut for them back in March.
Wow. And here you are. So you have a nice little amateur record. You came into the pros, didn't work out your way, but now here you are in Bare Knuckle. Okay, so now it's a whole clean slate. What can we look forward to in this Bare Knuckle experience?
Oh, man, the high energy. I'm definitely going to carry a lot of, charisma and just enjoy every second of it, the whole atmosphere. Every part of it, soak it all in, everything.
And you're fighting a man named Anthony Prater, a 31-year-old gentleman fighting in Bare Knuckle FC. Anything that you're how much harm are you going to create on this man's face?
So, they actually switched my opponent, to my knowledge.
Did they really?
Someone named Darwin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on Tapology, they have Anthony Prater, Apex. So Apex is out, and you have a man named Darwin, you're saying, correct?
Yep.
Okay, let me see here.
Yep, Darwin Vanilla.
All right. Well, anyway, it seems like Bare Knuckles had this happen a couple of times before where people fall out. How do you prepare for something like this? Do you know anything about your opponent? I might be losing.
No, I don't know too much. You know, I mean, a little bit. I know that we're going to weigh the same come tomorrow, and then we're both going to step out and fight. But that's what it comes down to. I was preparing for the camp.
That's one way of looking at it. That's like, see, that's how I know you're a badass and I'm a pussy. Because you're the type of guy that says, hey, I don't care who shows up. We're going to be bare knuckle boxing, and that's it. So what's going on in there? Are we having a party in the sauna? How many guys you got in there? You guys whipping towels at each other or something? What's going on?
You know, I love it. I would have loved to.
Unfortunately, the connection's not very... Go ahead. All right. We lost... The poor guy's trying to cut weight right now in the sauna. You know, you're not going to get very good reception in the sauna, so we might have to cut this one short. If I can, hopefully we can catch, a couple of good questions on him. But yeah, he's fighting. And how about that? His opponent changed, swapped out. You don't see this happen on. Oh, here we go. You don't see this happen on ARIEL HELWANI, right? Yeah, a phone in the sauna is probably not the best idea. But here's his opponent over here. So it looks like he's opening up the card. Darwin Bonilla is his new opponent. Fancy goatee he's got. It looks like the picture they used for Tyler in the bare knuckle thing is him in the sauna again. Like, what the fuck? Poor guy. It's all sweaty. He's cutting weight in the picture. All right, we lost connection. All right, we might have to cut this thing. We'll have him on after the fight. Good luck, Tyler. Good luck. What happened to Masvidal we'll talk about in a sec. We'll get into the UFC news. Okay, hold on a second. The reception's no good. Good luck. Good luck in your fight. We'll catch up afterwards. Yeah, weight cutting week is not, listen, these guys got better things to do. All right, there's Tyler Randall. Okay. Oh, God. Let me play a quick commercial. Let me go to a break. When we come back from the break, we're going to go into the UFC news. We're going to be talking about the fights coming up. Max Holloway fighting Yair Rodriguez. Max Holloway is a pretty big favorite. I mean, you got to bet an absurd amount of money on mybookie.ag, promo code MMA-HOLES. Hey, Sean, look what I put back on the board.
Gaylord.
I brought you back, buddy. I brought you back.
Gaylord.
There you go, Shawnee. Sean Hart, we got you in there. Yeah, so mybookie.ag, promo code MMA-HOLES. Got to find a fight that I'm going to play some cash on. I don't think I'm going to do on Max Holloway because you got to bet like $1 million to get $2. So I think Bullet Bless is going to win this one. Yair Rodriguez took a long break. Yair's in great shape, though. He is shredded, but I still got to go Maxi Boy on that one. And the situation with Jorge Masvidal and falling out of the Leon Edwards fight, it makes you scratch your head. Is he injured or is he getting ready for Colby Covington? Did he pull a fast one on Leon Edwards? Did the people say, hey, man, fight Colby? That's the fun one. I don't know. We'll talk about it after this break. We'll be right back, friends. All right. Thank you, sponsors. Keeping the lights on over here. All right. Okay, let's let's get back. Jesus Christ. Oh, God, my goodness. Yes, a producer would help. Also, interviews not in the sauna would be nice. Okay, so if you're just jumping in, let me give you a little backstory. We had a little Chris Curtis on the show, UFC fighter, made a big splash at UFC 268. It was wonderful. Chris was on, had some really good stories over there. Looking forward to seeing what's next. Tyler Randall, unfortunately, we had a little bad Wi-Fi connection, so we couldn't get Tyler on, but he's fighting on Bare Knuckle 22 Miami, and it should be interesting. There's actually some pretty good fights on that card. It's a pretty good night of fights. So Friday, we'll be reacting to this. Miami is where it's at, and Kendall's going to be in the building for that, so let's see if Kendall will have some good stuff to pull from there. That'd be kind of cool. Most lives go this way as a recall over the years. Yeah, you know what it is? The live streams are, they have producers and shit like that, so they can iron out all the kinks. But yeah, sauna. We gotta ban sauna interviews. I wish Jorge Masvidal would sell his used jock strap. Okay, let's talk about Jorge Masvidal. Let's get into Masvidables. We got Glove Touch coming in with a donation. What up, Glove Touch?
Damn him, finally a soundbite on this show. I'm so honored. I made it, y'all.
You fucking made it, baby. You did it.
Yes, I love you, Chris.
You did that. I made a tweak to the Khamzat donation as well. But thank you, Glove Touch, for participating in the soundboard fiasco. The situation between Jorge Masvidal and Leon Edwards unfortunately fell apart once again. And it's a bummer, but still could be interesting if Leon still wants to take a fight. Now, if I'm Leon Edwards, I pump the brakes and say, wait. I may be able to hold on here and fight Kamaru Usman again for the belt. He kind of got the shaft in this situation. For him to take a fight like Khamzat Chimaev would be very dangerous. But if he does, well, he saves a fucking card. If you're looking over here, I'm going to go to old Brett Okamoto, who dropped the story on the interwebs. And here it is. Jorge Masvidal versus Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is off UFC 269 on December 11th. UFC's chief business officer, Hunter Campbell, tells ESPN. Undisclosed injury for Masvidal. Undisclosed injury. Now, I'm not saying he's not injured. It's very possible he's injured. But what's the odds that Colby Covington says, literally a couple of days ago, you should pull out and fight me, and talking a lot of shit to Jorge Masvidal, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Jorge Masvidal's injured? I mean, what a bizarre coincidence, right? No word yet whether it will be rebooked or UFC will move on. So I'm going to say this. I'm kind of over Leon Jorge. I'm over it because Jorge versus Colby Covington is a hell of a lot of fun, right? I mean, even though Jorge will get dismantled in that. And then right off the bat, the first thing that jumped into my head and jumped into everyone else's head is Khamzat Chimaev. Khamzat Chimaev, he threw his 2 cents in there, but here we go. Brett Okamoto following up and said, spoke to Khamzat Chimaev, manager Mahdi Shamaz, definitely screw that up. Too early to know what is going to happen, but Khamzat has been asking him for a fight every day since UFC 267. Just texted him when he saw news of Masvidal withdrawal. Call UFC now. We travel tomorrow. I tell you what, Khamzat, I mean, it's not even a fucking question. Khamzat Chimaev is my favorite fighter. This guy here, he is the fucking best. I need him injected into my eyeballs. I need to see Khamzat Chimaev fight immediately again and fight before the year is up, December. Could you imagine if he slides in and fights Leon Edwards? Now, Leon Edwards, I don't know if he's going to take that shit. I don't know if Leon's going to go for that. It's not very smart. Really isn't a smart move. He was supposed to fight him, but not a very good business move if you're Leon Edwards. Khamzat Chimaev posts on Twitter, "Let's go, bro. We do it." And there it is. Chimaev and Edwards. I mean, Leon would be a superstar if he takes this fight, takes Khamzat, smashes Khamzat, right? And then goes after Usman in the rematch. I mean, that would be something else, but it's not advisable. Khamzat, I mean, it's scary that this man who just fought, and he really didn't fight. He lifted his opponent, slammed him to the ground, was talking to Dana White the whole time like his opponent wasn't even there. Finishes him. Not a blemish on his body. This guy, it's scary that he just wants to get back in there and not fight some schmo. He wants to fight Leon Rocky Edwards, the top of the freaking welterweight division. That's alarming. Very alarming if you're Leon Edwards. It's like, whoa, bro, pump the brakes. Now, Khamzat did indeed, if I'm not mistaken, he was the one that pulled out of the Leon fight. So in this situation here, Leon really shouldn't be obligated to fight Khamzat, But anyway, what does Leon do? Now, if you're in the chat right now, let me know. What does Leon Edwards do in this situation? Of course, we all want to see him fight Khamzat Chimaev. Does he fight Belal Muhammad, who threw his name in the hat as well? Let's see what Belal tweeted. But even though Belal and them fought already. Let's see. Or at least I thought he threw in his name in the hat. You versus Leon is the only one that makes sense. I mean, yeah, this had a bizarre outcome with the eye poke. I'm always down. Oh, here we go. Oh, so no, he's responding to Khamzat Chimaev, Belal. Man, imagine this shit. Imagine like Leon falls off the card and then we have like Khamzat versus Gilbert Burns or Belal Muhammad. Like that takes its place. I tell you what, I almost rather that. I'd rather Khamzat on the card than Jorge Masvidal. Maybe I'm crazy. This is interesting. But Belal Muhammad throws his name in the hat for Khamzat Chimaev, so I don't know if I see anything with Leon. Let's see. Time to break this out again. Say it with me, Leon. Remember the name. Put bullion. I don't even need to make $1 million. That's against Khamzat. That's Leon, though. That's Leon. So, yeah, it's looking like that he doesn't mind fighting Leon again. Belal. I don't know if I completely want to see that, though. I'd rather see this. Kendall says, where's Tyler? He had bad... you missed a lot. He had bad Wi-Fi signal. He was calling us from a sauna. So I had to say we'll link up after the fight. But to any future fighters that want to come on the show, please do not call from the sauna. Not known for the greatest of Wi-Fi, and your phone overheats. So, probably not the best idea, but we wish him the best of luck, and may he live long and prosper. Let me know in the chat, Khamzat Chimaev, Leon Edwards, what do we say here? What are your thoughts on this unfortunate situation? They don't want him. They are scared of Khamzat. He is literally a career killer for all of them. If Leon is smart, he praised Dana. Keeps him in line for Usman and dodges Khamzat at all course. I mean, that's a smart thing, right? Yeah. UFC treating Leon like shit. I mean, he's just got some pretty bad luck. He's definitely not very lucky with his opponents. Khamzat versus Leon. I'd like to see it. Khamzat versus Sean O'Malley. More money. Ooh, you guys go fast. More money for UFC is if Usman versus Edwards, COLBY versus Masvidal. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Usman says, okay, I'll fight Leon again. I beat him already. It's not like a mega big money fight. The problem is, does Leon want to be shelved for that long? Does Leon Edwards, Usman's going to take some time off here. And when was the last time Leon fought? Was it Belal, right? So, let's see. Leon Edwards. Leon Rocky Edwards, who, he's a pretty damn good fighter. Pretty damn good fighter. Oh, it's the Nate Diaz fight. Shit, man. I completely forgot about that fight. So that was, all right. So that was on a, I mean, maybe he wants to wait. I forgot about that fight. Yeah, so Bilal, no contest. He came back. He was beating up Nate. And in the final round, Nate gave him the slap, the infamous slap across the face, and kind of rocked him. But Leon did get that win. Look at these canceled bouts over here. I mean, you see all these canceled bouts, just bad luck. And 3 of them are Khamzat. So if that's the case, like, why now Khamzat's ready? Why take that fight? If you're Leon Edwards, no. I mean, you got to be a lunatic to take that fight. Khamzat had his chance. Man, December, January, and March. So it's interesting. So Leon Edwards, what does he do? And we've seen what happens before. If fighters sit out and just think that they're owed a title shot, that is not necessarily the truth. You know? Even though he sits pretty high up in those rankings. Here's Chris Curtis. Let's see over here. Where's those welterweights at? Leon's at number 3. You know, he sits pretty high up there. And you could, I mean, Gilbert just lost to, Gilbert beat Wonderboy, but did lose to Usman, and Colby lost twice to Usman. So you got Leon Edwards sitting here. I mean, if without, you know, his opponent Masvidal being there, I mean, yeah, Leon's the next guy. Luque, we're talking about, he just missed weight filling in, so that doesn't look very good. But Leon is the next guy. But look who we got to the show. Look who we got over here. Oh, we got Ellie. E-L-L-I-E. E-L-L-I-E. Ellie, 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 Ellie.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Hi, Ellie. Welcome to the show. Welcome. What do you think? Unfortunately, we didn't have Tyler Randall on. Hopefully, we can have him on after Bare Knuckle. But what do you think? We had Chris Curtis on. He was a good guest. Yeah. And what do you think about Masvidal getting hurt? Would you like to see him fight Khamzat? Leon versus Khamzat? Would that be cool? It's my new co-host. Yeah, you don't like that fight. Leon versus Khamzat? You're not into that? So what do you like? Would you like Leon versus Usman, the rematch for the title? What do you think? She's more interested in my snake. All right. Well, one day we'll get Ellie's predictions, and that should be interesting. But yeah, she doesn't like the fight. No. Jess, what do you think? Leon Edwards should. No, that's not going to work. All right, we're just going to have Ellie as the co-host. Jorge's injured. Yeah, that's what they're saying. We don't know what the injury is. I think the injury is COVINGTON-itis. COVINGTON-itis. I think that's what it is. He's like, I want to fight. I mean, who knows?
Wonderful, wonderful.
The glove touch.
For some reason they put iHeartRadio and the MMA-Holes on Kendall's press passes. So you might have beef with iHeartRadio. By the way, the GOAT Andrea Lee fights this weekend. Fuck Cynthia Calvillo.
Wow, iHeartRadio. Look at that. iHeartRadio. Wow. Let's work with iHeartRadio. I'm down. Maybe they're... Oh. This kid's so cute. Thank you, Glove Touch. How about Glove Touch dropping the donations? Let's go, baby. Thank you, Glove Touch. Yeah, so Kendall will be at XMMA at Bare Knuckle FC 22 this Friday. We'll be sure to do a reaction to that. Should be a good night of fights on Friday. So we'll fook off on a Friday and watch Bare Knuckle FC. And if you're just jumping in, we're discussing Leon Edwards. Who's his next opponent? I mean, I think we all want Khamzat. Some people out there say wait around for Usman, which would be nice in a perfect world. I don't know if the stars will line up. It's always a gamble waiting around. So we'll see how this plays out. But when you look at UFC 269, let's see. UFC 269. Okay. When you look at this card now, which is still pretty good, you know, It's kind of a bummer not seeing that fight on there. Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena and Charles Oliveira versus Dustin Poirier, the two title fights. Kara France and Garbrandt got bumped up, which is good. It should be a fire fight at 125. The GOAT, Sean O'Malley versus Paiva, is on that main card as well. So there's your main card for now. I'm curious what the next fight is going to be on this thing. Are they going to try to fill it up with something else? Do you put Ryan Hall on the main card? I mean, you got Dominic Cruz versus Pedro Munoz. You could drop that on the main card. Ponzi versus Neal. Actually, there is still some really good fights on this card. Emmett versus Ige. You know, it doesn't really hurt that much. It might hurt some pay-per-view sales from some casuals out there that want to see the dreamy Jorge Masvidal, Street Jesus, blah, blah, blah. But I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't really change much for me. It doesn't, break this card. It would have been another fun fight on there, but now looking at it, I'm fine. If they blast Khamzat on this thing, I mean, I'll be like, whoa, wow-a-wee-wah. That'd be pretty amazing. But December 11th is right around the corner, so they're going to have to get the ball rolling if they're going to slide in another doozy on this thing. The last pay-per-view of the year still looks pretty good. The problem is, anything can happen, from now until December 11th. I'm knocking on wood, and hopefully it stays intact, but you might want to try to throw another novelty fight on here just in case, God forbid, something falls apart. Anything can happen in the day of Corona. All right, let's see what else we got over here in the news. Actually, let's talk about the fights this weekend. Max Blessed back in the business. Let's check it out, baby. Holloway versus Rodriguez. So it should be an interesting fight between the two. I mean, the odds are heavily in favor of Maxie Boy. But Yair Rodriguez on a long break. It's been out since, let's see, Jeremy Stevens. Who the fuck is that guy? 2019? Whoa, wow-a-wee-wah. Supposed to be a beat. The Max Holloway fight was canceled. And here we go in 2021. Man, that is a long layoff. That's pretty long. This guy over here has had a weird run with the UFC. He was like this big hype train. Then the UFC lets him go because of some bizarre reasoning. I can't remember what it was. And then he's back on the roster. Bunch of canceled bouts. He had that interesting no contest situation. Was it? Yeah, on Jeremy Stevens. The accidental eye gouge. Yeah, it's a weird run for him. And he was supposed to be like the next best thing. Imagine he sleeps Max Holloway. That'd be shocking. I'm looking over at my bookie. Let's go in here. Oh, I got to sign in. Let me sign into the books. Let me sign into my bookie. Mybookie.ag. Sign into the account. Okay, the password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, bitch! Yes!
Yes?
Yes! 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 I love you, Chris!
I love you too. So we're plus 251.51. So we put $1,000 in when we signed up with my bookie, and we are up $251. We got to find another bet over here. So I'm gonna look through and see if there's anything that stands out. I got to go to the MMA UFC lines. All righty. So wow, minus 700. Okay, I'm not even gonna go near it. I mean, unless I drop $1,000. I'm not even gonna go near that shit. Let me look at this card here. Let's see. Let's see if anything else stands out. I think Inchaqui's on this thing too, right? Isn't he? Oh, you got the guy that looks like Tayshaun Prince. Diakase on here versus Alver. Oh man, let me see. Here's Inchaqui. This is close. Inchaqui versus Da Un Jung. He defeated. He's a big dude, man. Da Un Jung. He's a big fucking motherfucker. He's 6'4". Although Inchaqui is 6'5". I think I might go on Inchaqui. He beat William Knight. William Knight's a tough dude. Oh, he's on a good run. I think I might go with Inchaqui. He's a bigger dude. 83-inch reach. Oh, I kind of like this. Let's see. If I put money on Inchaqui, this might be the guy. I might have to drop a hundo on him. Let's see. 100 Scott Oles. You win 86.96. All right, I'm not going to quite put it yet. But it's interesting. Got Chaos Williams on this card. Who's Chaos fighting? Chaos has been like, I don't know, he's a tough dude to wrap your head around, though. Is he on this card? How am I missing him? I don't see him here. Maybe it's on an upcoming card. I don't know. Inchakui stands out. I kind of like it. I'm kind of down with it. What do you guys think about that? Should I drop the bet? Yes or no? Yes?
Yes, bitch! Yes!
Or no? Oh, shit.
No!
What should I do? Should I drop the Inchakui money? Let me ask my co-host over here, Inchakui, Jesse. $100? Should I spill it on him? Yeah. You think so? Yeah. Oh, she likes it. She likes the bet. I think it's not a bad bet, judging. Although his opponent's pretty tough. But I didn't really, other than laying on William Knight, that's all he really did was lay on him. He didn't really show much. Go all in, the 1,200. Dude on the TKO, huh? Yeah, see that 0.25 unit? I don't know that lingo. I just bet straight up. You know? Like, you guys are, I know you can do all those novelty, like, inside the distance and, you know, all that knockout submissions. And I don't know, man. I like to just bet straight up. Just get the money and bounce, you know? You know? $25. Now, I'm going to do 100. But I think I just want to bet on him straight up. We got Tropic Tom coming in, the tropical one.
Who is the current holder of the Cradle Robber belt? Pat Berry or Mystical Moss?
I am. I took the belt from Pat Barry. I have a 19 years advantage. I don't know what the difference between Pat Barry is, but I robbed the cradle. I am the champ. Do not take that away from me, okay? Do not take that away from me. Let's see. Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady set for November 20th. UFC Fight Night 198. Yas. Bet the house on Max. Should I just go all in on Maxie boy? Walk away from dropping a brown bill. All right, so here we go. Should I place the bet? I'm going to put a yes or no. Place the bet. That's all I'm putting in. Place the bet, yes or no. I'm going to ask the community. And the bet is on Inchakui over Da Un Jung. Although, like I said, I remember the last fight against our friend William Knight. William couldn't really go anywhere. Da Un Jung just used that size. But in this case, he's actually the smaller guy. Inchakui on a 3-fight win streak. I mean, just knockout city here. You know, you would think you got a decision here. See, the only reason is this guy is really freaking durable, man. Da Un Jung. That's why I don't like going with the knockout on this, even though he probably will get knocked out. The payout isn't much. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's almost even money. It's almost. Let's see. If you say Michael Chiesa's mom's name 3 times in the mirror, he shows up and show. Oh, okay. Well, I only said it once. Thank God, man. Yair is a lucky bastard too. Your polls are better than Biden's. I have gambling problem. I ain't participating, says 2 joints. Well, we're pretty even right now. We got 25 votes and 52% say yes. 48 say no. We got a 50-50 poll right now. Should I place the bet? Place the fucking bet. Let's see how this thing plays out. 150 watching. Do I place the bet? Tonight on the MMA-Holes live stream, do we go at Kennedy Inchakui? I'm saying Inchakui. I'm probably saying that wrong. How do you say that guy's name? Let's see how this poll plays out. You know, I'll wait until the end of the show. I'll leave the poll up. Although, I should have put the name of the guy because then people will jump in and be like, what the fuck was he talking about? Max is too risky and does pay out much. Yeah, I mean, I think Max is going to win. It's just, yeah, you have to bet an absurd amount of money to win anything. What does TKO play out? Let's see. The payout, excuse me. Let's see. Let's take a little peek. Let's take a little peek ski. All right, so these are like straight up bets. Let's see. How do I place? I don't know how to place those other bets, to be honest, because I'm a casual here.
Casual.
I only know how to bet straight up. Let's see. We'll figure it out together then. Okay, MMA, right? View more. Bellator lines, upcoming events. I mean, Chris Cyborg. We should throw 1,000 on Chris Cyborg. I mean, she's a guaranteed lock, right? Where is she? She's only a minus 400. No biggie. Right, Chris Cyborg. Let's put a cool 1,000 on her. Wait, why can't I put? Oh, here we go. Oh, open spot 1-2. I don't know what the fuck. See, I don't know what that terminology means. If we put $100 on her, you win. Wait, hold on a second. What the fuck? All right, I'm gonna take this one out for now. You win $2.50. $2.50. But I mean, she's got to win, right? Sinead Kavanagh's not beating her. Let's see if we drop $1,000 on her. Let's see what happens. Most popular bets, Cyborg. Okay, let's see. Let's throw 1,000. $25. There you go. Good $25. But it's a guaranteed $25, you know. It's a guaranteed 25. Oh man. Now if you bet on Sinead Kavanaugh, just for shits and giggles, we should put money on her just for the fuck of it. Like $20. You win $320. But it's just like throwing $20 away, you know? She's not winning. She's not winning. Like, it's just stupid. I put 25 on Yair winning. Yeah, but he's not gonna win though. You know? I don't see it happening. You know, I think there's a good reason why Max is minus. And Max looks like he's possessed now. All right, let's look at the poll over here. What are we saying? Yeah, I don't know how to do by rounds here. That's, you know, that was the initial question, and I don't fucking know how to do it. Let's see. I got to really explore these things. I just bet straight up. Bellator money, UFC lines. Right, it's got that. So how do you bet on like the fun stuff? Like go into, I'm curious. I don't know. Holloway versus Rodriguez. I know there's a way. I just don't know how to fucking do it. To be honest with you, I need a degenerate in the chat to explain this to me so I can do this. But I think in Chikui I'm going to be putting the bet. 62% are saying yes, do the bet. I bet 100 that Biden salutes and waves goodbye to his poops before he flushes. Sinead ain't a fucking slouch, though. Yeah, but, I mean, is it worth throwing $20 away? You know? It's legit like throwing $20 out the window. If I'm going to place a bet, I want to win. You know? And we are up, so it would be fun to do some silly novelty bets. But I feel like there's 0% chance I win. And I don't like to lose. It doesn't have them at this time. It has totals bets. Oh, okay, so it's not up yet? I guess when it gets closer to the fights maybe. I use Rivers, and the prop bets have only populated for the main event. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, yeah, you know, I've seen that in the last event, too. It took until Friday before I saw the other bets pop up. So, maybe it'll scratch my interest. All right, I'm going to do it, guys. I'm gonna do it here live on the MMA-Holes. I'm gonna place the bet of all bets. Let's do it. Let's see if we stay undefeated. In Chikwu. Okay, straight up bet. We're going to Hundo. We're gonna go Hundo. In Chikwu, don't fuck us over, okay, buddy? $100. You win $86.96. And let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Let's place the bet. You ready, guys? Here we go. Let's get it done. We're going to do it. We're going to confirm it. $100 on Kennedy in Chikwu. And the bet has been made. It's in on mybookie.ag. So if you want 100% match on your first deposit, use our link in the description and use promo code MMA-HOLES. Let's see if we stay unblemished here. Let's do it, baby. Let's see if we stay unblemished. Noise. All right, I'm going to look at the other news stories that Jesse dropped in on the MMAHoles.com. Let's log in. Morning report. Colby Covington calls for bout with former teammate Jorge Masvidal. We kind of spoke about that, so no need to dive into. Rose Namajunas, Carla Esparza rematch. Only thing that makes sense. I thought that should have happened before Zhang Weili, to be honest. That's what I thought, but we didn't get that. Conor McGregor responds to Michael Chandler's challenge. I'm down. I feel like these are all old. Hold on a second. When was
Wonderful.
Yeah, these are old.
Pat Barry is 42 to Rose is 29. Mystical Moss retains the daddest motherfucker belt. And still.
Yes, bitch! Yes! Chris! Yes! 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 I love you, Chris!
And still. Let's look at the other. By the way, a little recap. We had Chris Curtis on the first hour of the show. A fantastical appearance. The Action Man. Looking forward to seeing what he has next. If you missed the interview, run it back. Let us know in the comments section what you thought about Chris Curtis. I thought he did a great job. And the boner story was actually the funniest one that came out of nowhere. So Chris is completely loosey-goosey, so love talking to him. Unfortunately, Tyler Randall had some internet problems, so we spoke for literally a second or two. Good luck to him in his upcoming fight at Bare Knuckle FC 22. We'll be watching that. And we're going to roll into what we spoke about, Leon Edwards losing his opponent, Jorge Masvidal. Love to see a situation with Khamzat Chimaev, but that doesn't make sense if you're Leon. But I would like that a lot. So we'll see how that plays out. And now I'm going to go back to the news over here. Let's see if we got anything good that stands out. Let's check it out. Hit the fucking like button too. Is that sound of someone escaping from North Korea? Yes, that is. That is. Indeed. Indubitably. All right, let's go to the news. To chat room. Hear a little Ellie music in the background, setting the mood for the stream. Let's see. Chat room. Okay. Back to the MMA news. Don't knock it, Moss. It was longer than that and actually okay. We found out he has a new opponent and he doesn't give a fook. That's true. Yeah, we did find that out. It's on his Instagram over there. And go give him a follow. You know what would be funny? If you spam his Instagram. His Instagram is _rookie Randall. So here's his Instagram over here, _rookie Randall. And just put on this post. How many people have IG? Put one in the chat. Put on this post over here. Great appearance on the MMA-Holes. I loved you on the MMA-Holes. Spam it over here on the Bare Knuckle Miami card. This poster. I'll check it out. It's _rookie Randall with 2 L's. Spam, we loved you on the MMA-Holes. That would be pretty funny. Okay, so yeah, the CONOR situation, it's old news. Justine Gaethje rips ref Mike Beltran, says UFC 268 call could have cost him $1 million. What? Wait, what? What's this about?
Wonderful.
What is this about?
I lost my fucking voice and these bum-ass Insta pages have the audacity to steal my shit and not give me credit. I lost my voice and coughed for 2 days to film that motherfuckers. Millions of views stolen.
What? What? I lost my fucking voice and these bums ass Instagram pages. The audacity to steal my shit. Yeah. Well, be careful too. You heard with what Chris Curtis said. The UFC was telling him any clips that he had from the fights, he had to pull down from his Instagram. Be very, very careful with UFC footage. 1 minute everything's great, and then the next minute they're gonna fucking come after you. So just seriously, I know you took the images, but Robin Black had images just like that, and his Instagram got shut down. And YouTube is it's just fucked up. It says listen to article. Let's see. This is on MMAfighting.com.
Justine Gaethje rips ref Mike Beltran, says UFC 268 call could have cost him $1 million. UFC lightweight Justine Gaethje feels like a genius after his win over Michael Chandler at UFC 268, but he is F***king absolutely astonished when he thinks about how close he came to losing over a referee's call.
We got the new Jesse.
Gaethje on Wednesday blasted Mike Beltran for his handling of Michael Chandler's accidental foul in the second round of the Fight of the Year candidate, saying the veteran official jeopardized his win by indecisively stopping the action and not giving him enough time to recuperate. "I hate to critique the guy, he's human and we make mistakes," Gaethje said on the Onik and Florian podcast. "I just think that pretty much every ref that I step out there with has a look in their eyes, and it's a look like they're shook, like they're intimidated by what just occurred. I understand that, but this is real life. I need them to be in game mode. We're not dealing with seconds anymore. This is way less than seconds. If you're going to break action, you've got to put your body in there. If you're going to get hit, that needs to be okay." Beltran could not immediately be reached for comment.
I don't know how I feel about this. Robot Jesse, this is kind of weird.
Chandler landed a hard right hand in between the time when Gaethje indicated he'd been fouled and Beltran stepped in between them. By not being more decisive, Gaethje said, it jeopardized his chance of winning. "That was a big punch," he said. "What if that would have knocked me out? Those can change the whole..."
Why is Gaethje always complaining, man? Like, what are we doing here? I feel like every time I hear something after a fight, he's complaining about something.
Direction of a fight. It's just crazy to me that it wasn't a big issue, because for me it was a huge issue. That's $1 million, if I lose, that's so much money off of my table.
But you didn't lose, you're fine.
Beltran did stop the action. Gaethje said Beltran behaved as though he hadn't been fouled, asking him if he was good to continue. When Gaethje responded that he wasn't and that he'd been poked in the eye, Beltran asked him again if he was okay to continue. "So in my mind, I think he's referencing the punch that just occurred," Gaethje said. "And so, I'm like, yeah, I'm good because as a fighter, you never say you're not good to continue. So then he was like, okay, fight. I was like, no, I need my time. He poked me in the eye. And he looks directly at me and he says, you said you're good, fight. And he never looked at my eye. He didn't even take 1 second to see if I was affected." Gaethje said it was irrelevant whether or not Beltran saw the foul, because he'd already stopped the action and needed to follow procedures for a fouled fighter. In the unified rules of MMA, when a fighter is fouled, the referee is supposed to call time, check the fouled fighter's condition and safety and assess the foul for potential points deductions and/or time considerations. With replay in use at UFC 268, Gaethje said Beltran was perfectly capable of seeing what happened and taking the proper steps to make sure he was okay to continue.
I think Beltran's racist, to be honest. I think that's what's going on.
"I just can't understand how it happened, why it happened, or what the F***ck happened," Gaethje said. In the end, Gaethje won the bout via unanimous decision in a fight considered by many to be an instant classic.
They should have Luke Thomas read this.
"The eye injury he suffered wasn't permanent. He felt a ton of pressure in my eye but no lasting effects. But there was another sour note afterward after he said Beltran approached him backstage. This is why I'm more upset about it is because he tried to justify it," Gaethje said. "If you would have just accepted that, he F***ked up, then at least I have a picture of why it happened, and how it will never happen again. We need to learn from that."
Hey, yeah, he's not totally wrong. The problem is he's always complaining. Gaethje, he's always complaining about things, so you kind of dismiss him, but he's not wrong.
It's not the first time Gaethje has taken issue with MMA referees.
So there you go. That's what I'm saying. It's like the boy who cried wolf. Everyone that's complaining about shit over and over again, it's kind of like it falls on deaf ears.
He blasted veteran official Jaron Vallal's handling of his stoppage win over Donald Cerrone at a 2019 UFC event. Check out Gaethje's full interview.
Gaethje. Okay. Anyway, this is MMA fighting. This is Steven Morocco, and there's Robotic Jesse. Jess, you're here. What do you think about Robotic Jesse?
Wonderful.
Robotic Jesse. So that's what we'll do. We'll pull MMA fighting stories when we can't get Jesse on board. We'll do robotic Jesse. Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a terrible point there, but it's Mike Beltran's the best in the game, you know? I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat? What do you think? By the way, I just want to say something here. Oh, you pull a little baby. A little, is that vomit?
No, it's oatmeal.
There's oatmeal over her nose. You have a napkin? Oh, just you have wipes over there. You have oatmeal everywhere, kiddo. So there are people sliding into my DMs about the takedown situation with Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman, and I keep on screenshotting the 0 for 11 and putting it back in there, and people are just yelling and screaming. But DC said this, and Joe Rogan said that, and it really baffles me that the MMA-Holes, two knuckleheads that sit here in a fake room with a real baby, know what a UFC takedown is, yet Cormier and Joe Rogan don't. It baffles the hell out of me. And now fans are taking what Joe Rogan and Cormier are saying and using it as fact when it's fiction. And we did a little digging and found the rule. I mean, you can't make this up. This is kind of wild. So Colby, let me just make this very clear. Maybe in wrestling that's considered a takedown when you take someone down to the knees, but in MMA, in the UFC, it's not the case. You have to, and I knew this, you have to have control of your opponent on the ground. You have to have control. And I'll get the terminology. I mean, Usman was taken down to the knee and he just scurried to the fence, got right back up. To me, that's not a takedown. In the UFC, that's not a takedown. That's what we're watching, right? You don't know wrestling, like Kevin from Chicago's. I never realized how many casuals there are in the world, unless you're just trolling. And I'm hoping that's the case. It's just a troll job. But I think people actually believe this. So let me clear this up. Kamaru Usman was 1 for 1 with takedowns on Colby Covington, 100% with the takedowns. Colby was 0 for 11. And Colby's running around saying the media doesn't know what they're talking about. Colby, you are in the sport. How do you not know? I'm hoping you're trolling. But you literally compete in the sport yet don't know the rules? Okay. Let's see. Is a UFC takedown. By the way, shout out to Chris Curtis. For, just being a badass, a striker, not wanting people to just be heavier and lay on people for 5 rounds, 3 rounds, whatever it is. Chris Curtis opening his mouth and stepping to the plate. It's true. I mean, if you're a good grappler, it's great, but stay active. If you're not active, stand them up and move on. Jess, if you could read this over here. So people could know and we could put this to rest. Because it's kind of wild, man.
In martial arts and combat sports, a takedown is a technique that involves off-balancing an opponent and bringing him or her to the ground with the attacker landing on top. The process of quickly advancing on an opponent and attempting a takedown is known as shooting for a takedown or simply shooting.
I mean, how does he not know this? Now, do you think Colby does know this and he's just trolling? I mean, which is possible. It's very possible. But now you're riling the fans up and they're thinking he's telling the truth here and he's not. And then, but Colby's not the problem. He's not the problem at all because I get what Colby's doing. It makes sense. Colby's shtick works because it keeps on putting him in the mix and he's a good fighter to back it up. But what is Daniel Cormier doing? What's going on here? And I went back and I was listening and I'm like, this guy's like, that's a takedown. That's a takedown. I'm like, how does Cormier not? He's got producers in his ear, right? How does he not know this? In MMA, dude was a champ. It baffles me. So now I know why people turn to the MMA-Holes for commentary. The people, the two stooges here that don't know a damn what they're talking about. Two schmucks that never competed in a cage. No belts around our waist besides the ones that keep our pants up. Yet we know what a fucking takedown is. That's why you tune into the MMA-Holes commentary every fight night, every fight buddies. Let's go, baby. Number 1, 5 years strong. delivering the real commentary. The UFC's hiring casuals. But the MMA-Holes, we hit the home run every time. So that's why you subscribe to the channel. To be educated, to laugh, to have a grand old time, and hang out with the greatest community in the world. Let's go. Could you believe it? I had to double check because I was like, wait a second, maybe I'm off on this? So we did a little digging, and it turns out they were wrong. And it sucks because I'm a DC fan. DC as a fighter was one of my favorite. He was one of my go-to guys. When I threw the list and I said they're always going to win, DC was on that list. You know, and when he took the loss to John Jones, I always defended him. I went to John Jones and said I'm a DC fan. But it's just kind of a bummer, man. You know? I know. It's a bummer. But it's going to be okay. The UFC will finally hire some talented people over there. Dan Hardy, like guys like Dan Hardy, which I'm not a big fan of, he's got to be... Hey. He's got to be laughing his ass off right now. I'm sure Dan Hardy knows the rules. It's so crazy, man. So crazy. So let me know what you think in the chat. And to the Colby fans out there, stop. Unless you're trolling. If you're trolling, then fine. But if you really believe this nonsense, shame on you. Shame on you.
Casual.
I think JBM needs a nap. Yes. The baby needs a nap. JBM needs a nap. Everyone needs a nap. Herbie, Kiosk, Covington, 0-11 takedowns, Maple Bar Casuals. I don't see the knees hit. If he lands on top, it's a takedown. Exactly. You got to control on top. You know what I'm saying? Like, it never happened. Yes, we did speak about Chimaev. I would love to see him fill in December 11th. MMA takedowns require a fighter to attain controlling ground position on Covington, and Covington did not. The difference compared to how takedowns are scored in wrestling matches. Yeah, so apparently in wrestling matches, you can drag him to a knee, and that's considered a takedown. But we're watching MMA. It's different, right? So, I mean, if you went out there and said, hey, in wrestling, this is the case, but, I mean, DC was yelling into the mic saying, that's a takedown. That was the first takedown on Kamaru Usman. I'm like, what? Am I watching something different? And the score tells something completely different. So it's just like, you listen to your commentators to be educated, right? Especially the UFC comment. Like, you listen to us not to be educated. You listen to us just to have a good time. But you go to the UFC to be actually, like, to learn and to watch and to get educated opinions. And they're giving you misinformation. The UFC should be held accountable for this. I mean, Snoop Dogg probably even knows. Snoop Dogg probably knows the damn rules. DC, how dare you? And Joe Rogan, how dare you? All right, we gotta. Kiddo, what's wrong, kiddo? What's going on? I know it's upsetting. It's quite upsetting. All right, the rest of the story's over here. Let's see what we got, and then we'll get the hell out of here. We'll be back, Fook, off Friday. On Friday to watch a little Bare Knuckle FC 22. Oops, let's go to chat room and see what Jesse pulled here. I missed it. Or are they going to find Leon Edwards a replacement? I mean, I don't know. There's nothing around it. I think Leon's going to sit out. I hope I'm wrong about that, but I think Leon's going to sit out. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. So we spoke about that. Let's see. Marlon Cheeto Vera denounces fucked up picture of Frankie Edgar, interested in Merab Dvalishvili or Corey Sandhagen next. Ooh, Merab versus Cheeto. Yeah, man, I like that. I want Merab to fight for a freaking belt, man. Unfortunately, his buddy has the belt. Leon Edwards trashes a fraud Jorge Masvidal for pulling out of UFC 269, focused on Kamaru Usman next. And I don't blame him. I don't. I'd be bummed. Undisclosed injury. I'm not saying Jorge's not injured, but I mean, how many times has it got to happen to Rocky? You know? Like, enough's enough. And if the UFC did do the right thing, you know, they put Kamaru Usman next. But like I said, Kamaru's going to be sitting out for a little while. Kamaru wants the big bucks. So I don't know if Leon's going to get it. Chris Barnett's black belt parents on... Wait, hold on a second. Chris Barnett's black belt parents on highlight reel knockout. Literally, my mom yelled at me. What? My mom yelled at me. I didn't hear his interview. Let's read the news.
Chris Barnett's black belt parents on highlight reel knockout.
Yes?
Literally, my mom yelled at me.
Did she? Okay, what did she say? What'd she
Chris
say?
Barnett, a.k.a. Beast Boy, a.k.a. Huggy Bear, comes from a family of Taekwondo practitioners.
Do me a favor. We have Robot Jesse right now. If you could drop some robots in the chat, that would help us out so people understand what's going on.
Mom and dad are black belts, like he is. His daughter's rank is brown, and his son's is orange.
We said mom and...
Mom and dad are black belts, like he is.
Wow, man. That's a badass family right there.
His daughter's rank is brown, and his son's is orange.
That's crazy, huh? The whole family is a bunch of badasses.
All of this is to say that when he uses a Taekwondo technique, how he does it, and what it's called really matters. When he knocked out his first UFC opponent this past Saturday, at UFC 268, the folks had notes. Literally, my mom yelled at me when I got home, Barnett said Monday on the MMA Hour.
Could you imagine? You win the fight, right? You got a highlight reel, crazy kick knockout on GM Vellante, who's been in the sport for a while. Not like GM Vellante is the GOAT, but still, has a lot of UFC experience. You get that big win. You celebrate. You have a grand old time. You get back home, your mom and dad are like, you're an idiot.
She was like, why do they keep calling it a wheel kick? Why do they keep calling it a tornado? It's a spinning hook kick. I was like, I'm sorry.
Do you think this is what they sounded like, too, when they were talking? This is like...
The reason it was a hook kick, Barnett explained, is because of the bend in his leg that allowed his heel to get to the back of John Villance's head, knocking him...
All right, I don't care anymore. Thank you, Robot Jesse. Appreciate that. So look at that. The parents scolded him for the kick. If you care about it, go to the MMA Fighting website. And shout out to MMA Fighting for putting Robot Jesse in there. His daughter's a brown belt, and his son is orange. It's called the spinning hook kick, says Ann. So Ann correcting everybody. Let's see. John Jones admits, I'm a mess that makes hypocritical decisions. Well, we all know that. Well, at least he admitted it. Who is this guy? Was this Chris Farley? I thought he was dead. All right, let's see. Conor McGregor takes aim at garbage 269 promo, refuses Dustin Poirier trilogy on MMA Mania. Let's see if MMA Mania has a Robot Jesse. I don't think they do. See, MMA Fighting wins. They have Robot Jesse. MMA Mania is like, no, it's just too much work. Oh, nope, they got it.
Max slams garbage UFC 269 promo.
It's the same guy.
Featuring Poirier loss.
What do you guys think of the robot?
Conor McGregor is not a man to let go of something.
Yeah?
From the second Joe Rogan sat down next to the fuming Irishman after his disastrous leg break versus Dustin Poirier at UFC 264, McGregor was adamant that Dustin Poirier's second victory was illegitimate.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. We have Joey Cisneros is a member for 2 months in a row. Hey, let's go, baby. Orange belts. Joey says he's great. Thank you. Thank you to our members, seriously, and patrons. Thank you guys so much. You have no idea. Seriously? It's going to get a little emotional here. You have no idea how much you guys help us. The donations that come in, the members, the patrons. Thank you. From the bottom. I know times are rough, man. We got pandemic action on. So even if you're a member, a couple bucks a month, a big shout out to Pulse, Fukin moderator in the chat. Guy's a patron, and he's been with the community for a very long time. And thanks to Pulse. Everyone that contributes financially, I mean, Jesus. We are humbled by it, and we will try to keep on pumping out as much content as we can. As you can see, it's a little tricky with the baby, but we are going to keep it coming. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. Anyway, back to robot voice. I don't know how long I could stay in this article, though.
In fact, McGregor's attempt to rewrite the outcome began even earlier, as he was contesting the official knockout outcome with Bruce Buffer during the announcement. Fast forward a few months, and the UFC lightweight division is moving on. Charles Oliveira is the new champ, Dustin Poirier is the clear-cut top contender, and the result of these simple facts is a tremendous title matchup scheduled for UFC 269 on December 11, 2021, inside T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Naturally, the promotion is promoting the event, and that includes footage of Poirier's most recent victory.
All right. I'm done with this. I am done. I've had enough. Conor, unless we know you're coming back, but what's next? I don't need you. I mean, who cares? Volkanovski predicts Max Holloway defeats Yair Rodriguez at UFC Vegas 42. So Max Holloway, I mean, that's a pretty obvious prediction there. You're with the odds makers as well. Does anyone think that Yair Rodriguez has a shot against Maxi Boy? Does anyone put money on Yair? Let me know, as Volkanovski agrees with the masses. Carlos Esparza would love to hear what Dana White means by other option for... Oh, Carla.
Super chat.
Yo, Joey, thank you for the Dolore. Thank you, baby. Thank you for the Dolore. Joey Cisneros. Thank you, buddy. So, I mean, listen, I think Carla Esparza should have been the fight before Zhang Weili. Zhang Weili happened and made it very troublesome for... You know what? Let me just say this. You saw how Zhang Weili made it very problematic the first 3 rounds, the takedowns, the whole deal. What's going to happen with Carla? Carla's going to go in there, who has fucking fantastic wrestling. She beat her already before back in the day. Carla Esparza could do the same thing. Carla could be the champ again. I mean, it's very possible. But the UFC does not like fighters that just wait around. They don't like it. They don't like fighters that wait around for the opportunity that they feel that they should be promised or they should be given just for waiting there. The UFC likes active fighters. They seem to back those guys and gals, you know? And like Leon Edwards could shoot himself in the foot by waiting around. Although Leon might be a different situation because he's just been in just shitty situation after shitty situation. It's not necessarily his fault. It isn't his fault. So maybe Leon's the exception. But when it comes to Carla Esparza, I mean, Dana likes active fighters, and she's just waiting for promised fights. Carla, you might lose your opportunity here. I think you should be next. You beat her already. You were a champ, but you might get passed over. So that's what I got to say about that. So Carla, might want to get back in there. And why are you talking to Puss in Boots over here? What's going on with that? Danny Segura. Is that his name? Segura, I think. Puss in Boots. Who does look like Ian McCall. I saw the picture. All right, so that's the end of the stories over there. Ladies and germs, we will be back for Fook off Friday. A big thank you to everyone that was hanging.
Hanging with the boys.
A thank you to the Action Man stopping by the show, Chris Curtis. What do you think about this thumbnail? I think it's wonderful.
Wonderful.
So the Action Man gets it done. Let's see what's next for him. We spoke about Edwards versus Masvidal falling apart. And Tyler Randall, unfortunately, was not able to be on very long because of bad Wi-Fi situations. But a good luck to Tyler Randall, and we'll try to catch up after. You know what we should do? We should do a show next week of Tyler Randall and who is the other guy, Dustin Poirier's buddy, who had the same issues, Skype issues. Funk Flex, I can't remember his name. Phenomenal Fitness, I think his name was. That's on Instagram, Phenomenal Fitness. But that would be a funny show if we did a show of 2 fighters back to back where we could not do the interview because of bad reception, but we have to make sure that we test it out before we get going. Anyway, where are you going, Mystic Madness? I'm going to eat dinner, a late dinner tonight. And then we're going to put the baby to bed. Thank you for joining in. We'll see you Friday night. Fook off Friday. Thank you to the Glove Touch, Joe Cisneros, Tropic Tom for the donations over there. Everyone that hit that like button, thank you very much. A couple new subscribers coming in. Thank you to you guys and gals as well. Thank you to our guests, Mr. Chris Curtis and Tyler Randall, briefly, but thank you very much. Good luck to you Friday, and we'll see you then. Friday night, Bare Knuckle 22. We'll be here on this channel live. Don't be an a-hole. Check out our sponsors down below too. MMA-Holes is the promo code. MMA-HOLES, Head Rush, MysticRootsCBD.com, and MyBookie.ag. There you go. Be an MMA-Hole.